start of the year, a fresh chance to create a little more time, sense, and peace in your everyday.
And that is what our master designers at Closet Factory specialize in. Whether it's your closet, home office, or any part of your home that could be more wonderfully, time-savingly organized, discover how simple getting more can be.
Talk to Closet Factory, give us a call, or visit closetfactory.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Now, from
24 executive orders, 38 executive actions. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's the tally so far since President Biden took office, and more are coming today related to health care, including opening a new special enrollment period starting next month for Obamacare coverage. Climate change was yesterday's theme.
It's a whole-of-government approach. Put climate change at the center of our domestic, national security, and foreign policy. It's advancing conservation, revitalizing communities in cities and on the farmlands.
The president's actions will cut oil and gas and coal emissions and double wind and energy production.
These orders come just a week after the president halted the Keystone Pipeline and banned new oil and gas leases on federal lands.
Fox's Griff Jenkins.
30 members of the House Energy Action Team, all Republicans, say this in a statement. In less than a week, the Biden administration has placed these jobs and accomplishments at risk by waging an assault on American energy, as well as the good jobs and low energy costs that go with it. But Biden's presidential envoy for climate, John Kerry, says not true.
Unfortunately, workers have been fed a false narrative.
The number of coronavirus deaths in the U.S. hit nearly 4,000 yesterday, 8,000 the past 2 days. And there's a push to reopen more schools after a CDC report saying the risk of COVID spread is low if the right precautions are in place. But in Chicago,
not only is the teachers union refusing to send its members back to school for a scheduled reopening next Monday, it's threatening to strike. And Mayor Lori Lightfoot says despite spending 3 weeks complying with union safety demands to reopen, the teachers are still refusing to report to classrooms.
Fox's Rick Leventhal. In Pakistan, the Supreme Court has ordered the release of the man convicted in the murder of American journalist Daniel Pearl, who was beheaded. Ahmad Saeed Omar Sheikh was later acquitted. The Pearl family calls this a travesty of justice. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 in Jaguar is slowing traffic heading eastbound on Jaguar towards Homestead. Also delays in Estero on Three Oaks if you're heading southbound towards Estero Parkway. There is a slowdown as well in Bonita on West Terry heading west towards Imperial Parkway. Now, if you are in Naples, slowing traffic heading northbound on Goodlette Frank continues heading to Vanderbilt Beach. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, thanks to a cold front, cooler, drier, and breezy. Granted, it's going to feel better, but heads up, we do have an elevated fire danger. Mostly sunny this afternoon with highs in the lower to middle 70s, dipping back down into the 40s for your Friday morning. Nice and sunny by the afternoon. High temperatures near 70, 75 on Saturday, mostly sunny. And then sunshine and increasing clouds on Sunday with a slight chance of rain. And actually, morning rain possible by Monday as temperatures will be topping out into the 70s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Saturday night, an evening of great local stories and music that will inspire and warm your heart. Presented by the Naples Children and Education Foundation, founders of the Naples Winter Wine Festival. Meet people whose lives have been changed for the better by the generosity of Southwest Floridians. I'm Lindsay Sablon from Wink News. Join me and Wink News anchor Lois Tomey for NCEF, A Community Comes Together.
Saturday night at 7 on Wink TV.
Let Naples Shutter enhance your home's beauty and increase its value. From our legendary all-wood plantation shutters made right here in Naples for over 40 years, to luxurious blinds and shades, to the unique island appeal of Bahama shutters, Naples Shutter has you covered with a lifetime guarantee and over 40,000 satisfied customers. Call 239-566-8161 today for a free estimate. That's 239-566-8161 or visit naplesshutter.com.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune into WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
It's time to get back outside at the 6th Annual Lovers Key Boat Show, Market, and Seafood Fest. Bonita Springs Rotary invites you to a weekend of seafood, beer garden, boats, arts and crafts, and Florida sunshine. Along with the Friends of Lovers Key, our COVID-safe outdoor event is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 9 to 5. The parking's free, the beer's cold, the shrimp and fish are fresh. Get out of the house. Come on out. Join us in the sunshine and support our local charities. LoversKeyNauticalMarket.com.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Remember, customize and save with Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm so glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Anytime you want to watch, we love that you watch the program. Thank you so much. As far as mobile watching is concerned, on your smartphone or your smart device, you can go to drewsteele.com. It's set up to be mobile friendly. drewsteele.com. Just go to the website and use your browser. You can go to YouTube still and Facebook for the time being, facebook.com/DrewSteeleRadio. We're working on alternatives. Well, Jake better be working on alternatives. I hope so, because we've been talking about it enough, but we'll see. But again, drewsteele.com for the time being. We do appreciate it. All right, a lot coming up. We're going to talk about how Joe Biden, according to his own words, is a dictator. He's an absolute dictator, a dictator like nobody's dictator. What are you laughing at? Jake the Millennial is laughing because people having buyer's remorse right now. You think there's some people who are like, what in the world did I just sign up for? I had no idea this was going to be this way.
I actually pulled that audio and was going to send it to you this morning, but,
Yeah, all right. Hey, just in case.
You don't know.
Well, no, of course I know. And you know, and we should all know and understand that when I say that, by the way, and we're going to talk about some other things this morning. It's a busy morning. Just so I can remind people about October, when he was sitting down with George Snuffleupagus. Remember, we played this audio earlier in the week. Just a reminder, it's not my words that Joe Biden is a dictator. He is the one that said that anybody who would be doing what he is doing now is a dictator. What do you mean? Listen.
So there's not going to be any delay on the tax increases?
No, well, I got to get the votes. That's why, the one thing that I have this strange notion. We are a democracy. Some of my Republican friends and some of my Democratic friends even occasionally say, well, if you can't get the votes by executive order, you're going to do something. Things you can't do by executive order unless you're a dictator. We're a democracy. We need consensus.
Okay, yeah, so he's a dictator, all right? In his own words, executive orders, you don't do that kind of thing. He's almost up to 40 executive orders. That's what dictators do. We no longer have a legislature that cares about anything. And then we have people who are watching all this happen. And I'm telling you, there are people in newsrooms across the country, the youths of America that are the ones that are supposed to be the journalists, that are watching all this and saying, oh, this is cool. Yeah, but if Donald Trump were to do it as president of the United States, he's a dictator. But Joe Biden says he's a dictator. That's his words, not mine. So I can use it, clearly. All right, so we're going to get to that and some of the job killing that Joe Biden is doing. It's legit. It's right there in front of you. But if you talk to John Kerry and some of the other climate advisors that are helping with energy policy here in this country, no, it's not. Look, the coal workers, the oil workers, the ones that have lost, the tens of thousands of jobs have already been lost thanks to the stroke of a pen of Joe Biden. Nothing to worry about, Jake. They're going to be building solar panels. That's what they're going to do. They're going to forget the oil fields, forget about coal mining, forget about anything that has helped to make us energy independent, fracking, all of that stuff. The lies saying we're not going to get rid of fracking until we get rid of fracking in the oil industry and everything's going to be fine, and now it's not. And the buyer's remorse thing. Yeah, well, guess what? They're going to be making solar panels. Again, not my words, but John Kerry's words, and he's pretty, as Rush used to like to say, or still does, he's a hoity, the hoity-toity. You know what when somebody says they're hoity-toity, do you know what that means, Jake? Do you have any idea what hoity-toity is?
Nope.
Okay, good. All right. I wanted to touch on this to start the show because this will help for Jake to pay attention this morning, because this is a subject that he has been following and that he loves. And it's one that is fascinating because the social media verse is just exploding with this story. And a lot of people don't know the details. Jonathan Honig from capitalistpig.com is going to join us at 7:35 to explain more in detail. And he's a Fox News contributor, Fox Business. You've probably seen him before. And yeah, he's the real deal. He's awesome. You should follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow. So what's happening here? So everybody's talking about GameStop. And what you have is, just imagine for a second, you have a company that out of the middle of nowhere, all of a sudden, that nobody has talked about, that the company was bought with the idea of restructuring in the past, the stock going down, this thought of restructuring the company to make it look like something new, to figure out a way to rebuild the company. And all of a sudden, the company starts to explode. We're talking about the stock goes up almost 1,500% and then some. It goes to dollars, to hundreds of dollars, just like that. And people are like, well, what's going on here? What happened? Well, you have to understand how Wall Street works, and I hope I can explain this as simple as possible to see what's going on here and why the markets right now are freaking out. This is not good for the confidence in Wall Street and the markets, and it's this. What happens is you have hedge funds and institutions in Wall Street who will buy into companies. Hedge funds will buy into companies with the idea that they are going to short that company. In other words, they are betting on the fact, and because of their shorting, they are betting on the fact that the stock is going to go down. But because they're investing in it and getting in, it's almost like they're actually taking over the company and crushing it to the point where they can make a profit off of it, and then ultimately that stock begins to go up. So they're borrowing money. This is so hard to explain sometimes, but when you short a stock, institutions are allowed to borrow money as opposed to buying and using their capital to buy into these companies. So they can borrow against what they believe will be a target price. They'll hit a target price that it will go down to, with the hopes that, and the belief that when it does hit that margin, when it does hit that place in the market, when it does go that low, that's how they turn that profit. But there's no money coming out of pocket. It's borrowed money. Short selling is borrowed money. And so what happened was there's no new paper, there's no new stock that's being issued for GameStop. There wasn't. It's a company that nobody was looking at. The value wasn't there. There's no reason for for that to happen. And so it was shorted. All the paper, any place that you could go to buy GameStop stock was all just old paper. It was old money. And so what happened is this Reddit subgroup, what's it called, Jake?
Wall Street Bets.
Wall Street Bets. It's been around forever. They motivated each other to say, you know what, let's buy GameStop. Because what happens is if they buy all the paper, they buy this stock. Not only will the price of it go up naturally because of the amount of people that are buying it. Yesterday, GameStop was the most traded stock in the world, more than Tesla, more than Apple, more than anything. Think about this. So these home traders and people that are on their own just get together on this Reddit site, and a very inexpensive stock they buy. Well, institutions are banking on the fact, let's say that the stock was going to go down to, I don't know, pick a number, $10 a share. They were thinking that, and so they borrowed money betting that the stock was going to drop to $10. Well, guess what's happening? The stock is going through the roof, and instead of being $10 and dropping to $10 where these hedge funds and these institutions would be able to make a killing on what basically is the destroying of this business in order to get that stock price to turn that profit for themselves, and then ultimately what happens to the stock and the company after that, nobody knows. These home traders and these people on the Wall Street Bets Reddit site and others are like, holy cow, this is like Bitcoin. This thing is going up every hour. I'm looking at this stock and it's jumping. And so I'm getting in. They see the value, so they're jumping in. The stock price is going higher and higher and higher to the point now, what is it today? It was in the 300s. It was 340.
Yeah, 340. And then yesterday at 6, we were talking, I think it was at like 190.
It went up to 100. And this is just in days, right? I mean,
24 hours.
24 hours, just like that. This doesn't happen on Wall Street. You don't see it. You see this kind of volatility in Bitcoin, but you don't see this kind of volatility on Wall Street. So here's what happens now. So now the stock is going up, and you know your negative these institutions that have shorted the company. These negative shorts, as they are called, the amount of negative shorts that's being held in a company, which was it was 140%. It was some crazy number. Like there were more people shorting the company than holding the stock. Do you see what I'm saying? So what ends up happening is it's due, baby. The banks want their money. They've shorted this. And guess what? The home traders, the Wall Street Bets, the people on Reddit and others are like, we're not selling. I'm looking at my portfolio, and I've never dreamed in a million years I'd be able to have this kind of money. There were people on Twitter that were talking about how now I can help my mother with her Lyme disease. My dog who needed surgery, and I didn't have the money for my dog. Now I'm able to pay for a $4,000 surgery. Like things that are happening in people's lives that they never. And these are like kids. These are like if you go to the site, you see that these are not institutional buyers. And it turns out that some of these one hedge fund company in particular had to get, I think it was almost $2.7 billion of cash infusion because they had to put on those short sales. They had to pay the bank back. Wall Street getting crushed by this. And this is like a new phenomenon for people. They don't know what to do. So did all of that make sense? I hope it did. So it shoots up. The hedge funds betting against GameStop's stock, where they short the stock. But instead, all of these independent individuals come in and they buy, and now they're holding it. And I'm trying to think of who the companies are in particular. that are getting squeezed out of this. All right, so Doug, are you an institutional investor? Is that what you do, Doug?
No, but I do short stocks.
Okay.
So,
all right. So
on
are
occasion,
you as amazed at what is happening now with this? Because I got to tell you, this is rocking Wall Street. It may not be being discussed enough in detail on major media outlets, but I got to tell you, the people that I talk to and the people that I've been communicating with, Wall Street is freaking out because they haven't seen anything like this. And there are a lot of, and now this same place is looking at other companies that have these negative shorts that are in the 80%, 90%, 120 Bed Bath & Beyond and other companies and Nokia and these different companies where they're looking to do the same thing, and these hedge funds are getting crushed.
Yeah, so when you short a stock, basically what you're doing is you're calling your broker and you're borrowing shares. Okay, so they'll give you like roughly, a few thousand shares at a borrowed rate. So you have to pay them, the institution, money just for the right to sell, short sell their stock.
Right.
Now the institutions don't care if it's a whole bunch of shares of that stock, and they don't care about the short-term loss. They're keeping it for the long term. So when it goes down, let's say it goes from $30 down to $20, the short sellers reap $10 per share of everything that they borrowed.
Right.
But the rules on this is you have to buy the stock not on the ask. You can't set a price and hope someone sells down to you. You have to buy not on the bid, but you have to buy on the ask, which means you have to constantly be buying, which forces the stock to go up even as you're shorting it. So you're initially going to be losing money. Well, what happens is when people see 100% or 100, I think GameStop was like 130% short at that moment, they start seeing this, they'll start throwing a little bit of money at it. When those investors those brokers let you borrow their shares, they get nervous. They think, oh my gosh, you're not going to be able to cover this.
Yeah.
They will exercise and start selling your stock for you. And again, they're buying on the ask and not on the bid. So the bid continues to rise and more shares get executed. And that's what the squeeze is.
Yeah.
And that's because you are no longer in control because you borrowed those shares. So as you're shorting the stock and hoping that it goes down, someone else is paying, I don't think you're going to be able to cover this, buddy. And they're selling at a much higher rate, at a higher price than what the normal, bid price would be for that stock.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps make any sense. So, they're out to protect you from losing a fortune. But as all these investors and brokers got nervous, they forced all of these sales to go through, and that's what's causing that squeeze to go through.
Yeah, and what I was
got to 90,
yeah.
Then more shorts jumped in, saying, "All right, well here we go at 90. I'm going to start buying some shorts because it's going to come back down to 30." And the institutional brokers once again got nervous and pushed that stock even higher.
And yeah, because we know that it was it was Melvin Capital that's the one I was talking about, took a $2.75 billion cash infusion because they're one of the companies that took a huge loss when it closed out their short positions. And, there's going to be others that will probably have that same situation. And I guess the problem becomes when people discover what Wall Street sometimes is doing and what hedge funds are doing and how now Wall Street, and maybe you can confirm this, Doug, where Wall Street is like, no, we do this kind of thing all the time. And then when some outside force does it, they're like, no, you're playing against us now. You can't do that. And
exactly.
And people are like, well, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You've been doing this. I think it was Janet Yellen who is the one person who helped this along. The feds helped this along to be able to let institutions do this. And now because in the private sector and just individuals, just Joe Schmoes decided that they want to do the same thing, all of a sudden in mass to be able to make a difference and to be able to make this happen, all of a sudden they're freaking out. And so that's That's where the dynamic is. It's like it's fair
Yes,
for
but
one,
shorting,
and not fair for the other.
but shorting a stock is as American as apple pie. I mean, it happens all the time on a much, much lower basis. But anytime you see a stock that's at 130% or even anything that's above 80% short interest.
But Doug, it's also like where there's no reason for that value to be that high. It isn't as if the fundamentals there on the stock are suggesting that something great is happening with that stock. It's all the speculation that happens.
It's all well, right now it's not even speculation.
It's not, right.
It's
it's all
that many shares are going through the ask instead of onto the bid.
Yeah.
That it's forcing the stock to go up.
Yeah. It's
because
crazy.
if I own the stock, why am I going to sell it at $90 when now the ask is at $120?
Right.
So, all right, well, if it's at $120, I'm going to go ahead and raise that ask to $140. See who wants it.
Man, it's unbelievable what's going on right now. All right, Doug, I appreciate your call. Thanks so much. 239-479-5592. Yeah, Jonathan Honig as well is going to join us later from thecapitalistpig.com, and he'll explain some more in detail. But coming up, all right, you ready for Biden the Dictator? What am I talking about? What's the latest in the series of executive orders and how it's hurting the country, and why are we not talking about that? Hey, maybe there's some buyer's remorse. Yeah, there is. Talk about that too coming up. Stay break, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, Alexa, play 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News business report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Some gloom on the markets Wednesday. The Dow sinking 634 points at the close. The S&P off by nearly 100. The Nasdaq off about 355. More and more people are saying forget going to the store and have the store coming to them. Alarm.com says Americans are ordering 60% more home deliveries since the start of the pandemic. That meme of Senator Bernie Sanders with his mittens at the inauguration has become its own cottage industry.
Senator Bernie Sanders reveals his memeable inauguration look has helped raise $1.8 million for charitable organizations in Vermont. The lawmaker began selling sweatshirts of his viral image wearing a winter coat and mittens in a folding chair for $45 to raise funds for Meals on Wheels. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
With the new president, so much is happening in Washington. Now, millions are turning to Newsmax TV, your trusted news source. They're going online to Newsmax.com for breaking news and downloading the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get Newsmax, call your cable operator or watch it free on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax is real news for real people. Start watching today.
True relief for back and neck pain. Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. we can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Not 10, not 5, or even 2.9%. Southwest Florida. In 2021, Sutherland is doing something never done before. 0% APR financing on used cars. During the exclusive 0% event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Get unprecedented 0% APR financing on used cars. Save thousands in finance charges and pay the bank no interest for your car. Shop Southwest Florida's largest used car dealer with the biggest selection of certified pre-owned Nissans, Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords. Now, get 0% APR financing. Even get 0% APR financing for up to 84 months on new Nissans, like the Titan truck. Yes, 0% on new, too. Don't miss the 0% event with never offered 0% APR financing at your used car megastore. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral right now. Shop online at nissansales.com or capecoralnissan.com. If it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
There is always a better way, and we will always chase after it. We're building a cleaner energy future with millions of solar panels, and we're using the latest technology, investing in energy that's not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. As we see it, the horizon is always moving, and to chase it is to deliver America's best energy value for you and for Florida. See how at fpl.com/value.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan has been authorized to continue offering the full original MSRP for your trade-in. The factory warned us to end the offer, but after record-breaking sales in 2020, we've been approved to continue running it. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, regardless of where you purchased it from, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Hundreds of new Nissan models to choose from, all backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite and get full details at naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 in Jaguar is slowing traffic heading eastbound on Jaguar towards Homestead. Also delays in Estero on Three Oaks if you're heading southbound towards Estero Parkway. There is a slowdown as well in Bonita on West Terry heading west towards Imperial Parkway. Now, if you are in Naples, slowing traffic heading northbound on Goodlett Frank continues heading to Vanderbilt Beach. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, thanks to a cold front, cooler, drier, and breezy. Granted, it's going to feel better, but heads up, we do have an elevated fire danger. Mostly sunny this afternoon with highs in the lower to middle 70s, dipping back down into the 40s for your Friday morning. Nice and sunny by the afternoon. High temperatures near 70, 75 on Saturday, mostly sunny. And then sunshine and increasing clouds on Sunday with a slight chance of rain. And actually, morning rain possible by Monday as temperatures will be topping out into the 70s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News.
Right. All along.
It's Kaylee Kobe at Kobe Coin. It's been almost 5 minutes since you have heard an air conditioning company commercial all day long. Blah, blah, blah. So how do you pick the best? First, only pick a company with NATE certified mechanics. Next, the license holder should also be the owner, not some random license. And you want someone who has stood the test of time. In other words, you want Kobe Cooling.
When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949. And now offering Kobe's exclusive brand, the Florida Reserve. Call and ask us about a 10-year guarantee with no hassle warranties.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm Alan with Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions. My 6 years of service to my country taught me a lot about integrity, trust, and getting the job done and getting it done right. I have integrated much of my Army training into the business. And I mean integrated. I'm actually standing here recording in my fatigues. I understand that it may seem that there are more pest control companies than bugs, but our company is very different. A lot of pest control companies are what we call spray jockeys. You see bugs, and they just come and spray. You see more bugs, so they spray more. My team's approach consists of understanding what's causing the bugs to come in. Sometimes it's something as simple as caulking or patching holes. Spraying is not always the answer. If you're tired of the spray jockeys and want real pest control solutions, call us, Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions, today at 595-4867. That's 595-4867. Now serving Marco, Naples, Bonita, and Estero.
Imagine an exclusive fishing adventure in Key West. A private cooking lesson from a master chef. A chance to play in an exclusive golf pro-am. Or owning a custom piece of art from a world-renowned painter, all while supporting the mission of NCEF, helping disadvantaged and at-risk children in Collier County. Don't imagine? Go to NWWFonlineauction.com and bid on these or other once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. That's NWWFonlineauction.com, a partnership of the Naples Winter Wine Festival, NCEF, and Gulf Shore Life.
Welcome to Smart Floors. For a limited time, Smart Floors is offering contractor pricing on all CoreTech vinyl luxury flooring. CoreTech, normally priced at $3.99 a square foot, is yours for only $2.99. And CoreTech, that's $5.99, is now only $4.49. No gimmicks, no hassles, just smart service at a smart price. In Naples, next to Home Goods in the Park Shore Plaza.
When shopping for new floor, we stand for so much more. Smart service, smart prices, Smart Floors.
Ready to make 2021 the year you meet people who love to do the same things you do?
Making pizza with someone who's as into it as me? What could be better?
How about we share a bottle of wine? Our Time is the #1 dating site made for singles over 50. It's easy to use and can help you find people who are ready to do something fun. Today, even doing the simple things are better together.
A walk and some ice cream with someone sounds like the perfect treat.
Find someone over 50 who loves to do what you do on Our Time. Start for free at OurTime.com today.
Hey, this is Pop-Up introducing an old friend, Tim Weir of Wise Owl Roofing. Tim specializes in metal roofs, flat roofs, and re-roofing tile roofs. If you need a free estimate, please call me at 945-2700. As always, we offer our free tile roof inspection. If you have a dirty tile roof or have some slipped or cracked tiles, please call me at 945-2700. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, we want to thank all of you that have responded to Papa's wacky commercials over the past 34 years. We specialize in cleaning and sealing tile roofs. If your roof went through Hurricane Irma and you don't see any damage, it's still a good idea to have your tile roof inspected to make sure your roof is in good shape. Over the years, we've collected thousands of the old concrete tiles that have never been used, and likely we can match your existing tile that need to be replaced. Please call Papa at 945-2700. That's area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
Come have an exciting offshore fishing adventure and maybe even hook up aboard the Blind Date. Blind Date Charters offers backwaters to offshore fishing and more. Whether you target tarpon, grouper, or snapper, the trip won't disappoint. Captain Tom Katz will provide a first-class experience that'll leave you with memories that last a lifetime. Call Blind Date Charters at 239-810-2473. That's 239-810-2473.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Is the White House concerned about the stock market activity we're seeing around Gamestop, and now with some other stocks as well, including the subsidiary or whatever, the company that was Blockbuster? And have there been any conversations with the SEC about how to proceed?
Well, I'm also happy to repeat that we have the first female Treasury Secretary and a team that's surrounding her. And
okay. There you go. There's the genius of the White House press secretary and Jen Psaki in the White House and Joe Biden. And when asked about, hey, listen, you got concerns about this whole GameStop thing, and now we got more companies that may be involved in this, and the concerns there on Wall Street, and the little guy and the big guy and all this stuff. And Jen Psaki's answer is, hey, did you know that we have a female Treasury Secretary? Yeah, that's about as good as your answer is going to be. That's what happens when you have an administration already, and in just the first week, has shown you not only the incompetence to be able to give you answers that you're looking for to a media that doesn't really give a snot whether or not you give a good, competent answer because they're on your side. But then the second part of that is about how Joe Biden's a dictator. Listen, it's not my words, it's his words. He's the one that said if you're going to do all these executive orders and you're not going to go through legislation, then you're a dictator. He said it. So if he said it, then clearly I can say it, that he is a dictator. And when the dictator is asked about all these jobs that people are losing and what they're supposed to do now, and you have climate activists that are part of his administration, and you have John Kerry, who are all saying some audio that we're going to play in just a little bit of how, listen, if you're losing jobs in the oil industry or the coal industry or any of these other places, electricians, plumbers, and that kind of thing, hey, you can build solar panels. We're going to need tons of those, the shovel-ready jobs that somebody talked about in the past. All right, we got it. And what did he say when Joe Biden was asked, is he signing his next executive order, his next dictatorial duty? And he's asked by the press. Really, Peter Ducey's the only one that's asking the questions.
Sir, what sacrifices are you asking Americans to make?
Thank you. Mr. President, we just are national emergency on climate change, you guys.
Sir, after the Republican...
Yeah, what sacrifices are you asking Americans to make? They have to make sacrifices. And so he just walks off, him and the vice president. There they go. The team that will walk off will just be the dictators that they are. And again, not my words, Joe Biden's words. Don't get on my case. So Joe Biden with his next dictatorial emotions to go after the energy sector here in this country. Hey, how are Democrats even feeling right now about who they voted for and what has been taking place? You may be or may not be surprised to find out that there may be some buyer's remorse going on. A poll finds that some voters regret picking Biden after new revelations. This is from the Washington Times. Roughly 17% of Biden voters said that they wouldn't have voted for him if they had known about his record, as well as that of the president, found the survey commissioned by Media Research Center. Biggest movement away from Biden was among his voters who only after the election learned about shady business deals involving Mr. Biden's son, Hunter. 45% of Biden voters said they didn't know about Hunter Biden's deals, and 9.4% said they would not have voted for the former vice president had they known that. You see how the media works. If you don't talk about it, it doesn't exist. If you don't bring it up, then it never happened. If somebody were to question about Hunter Biden and his dealings and how he's been doing, there's nothing to see here. Move along, because if you're CNN, you're going to give anything and everything that you can to the red meat of the CNN listeners, the left in this country, all that they need to parrot. What am I talking about? Because if you go to a CNN and you've been paying attention to Jake Tapper's show for any amount of time, which you probably haven't because it's CNN. I mean, how much do you pay attention? Maybe it's just the clips that we play here on this program. Like the amount of times that Jake Tapper wants to let the viewers of CNN, the left in this country, believe that there are terrorists among us, and they are MAGA terrorists. Oh, not my words. Listen to this.
So how did these domestic terrorists storm the nation's capital? The Capitol ransacked by MAGA terrorists. The assault perpetrated by the MAGA terrorists. The terrorists, the MAGA terrorists. MAGA terrorists. Deadly attack by MAGA terrorists.
I mean, I can go on. That's only 15 seconds. It goes on for a whole minute.
MAGA terrorist mob. A terrorist attack on the U.S. Capitol. Far-right domestic terrorism, a huge problem in this country.
Just got to stop. Keep parroting it over and over again. The gaslighting, the lies that keep being parroted. And then anybody who goes against the lies there, you're the liar. And then we just keep saying the same thing. And then we bring experts in. And the experts say this MAGA terrorist is terrorist. You're a terrorist. You are absolutely a terrorist. Did you vote for Donald Trump? You're a terrorist. Hey, let's bring in an expert. Are they terrorists? Yeah, they're terrorists. Hey, I don't think I'm a terrorist. Oh, you are a liar. You got to stop. Did you vote for Donald Trump? Do you see what they're doing? All the while, we don't get to hear the other side of when you have Hunter Biden, who we are told, oh, listen, he's divesting himself, right? Joe Biden saying, my family is not going to be involved with anything. If I'm president of the United States, divesting. They've already done it. Hunter Biden and all those issues before the election. Listen, there's nothing to see here. My son Hunter has nothing to do with any of the business that he may have been involved with before, and I don't even think he was really involved with those businesses, and you can't prove anything in it. Oh, this just in from the Daily Caller. Hunter Biden continues to hold a 10% stake in a Chinese private equity firm, BHR Partners, Chinese business records show, despite multiple reports from December suggesting he was divesting his position in the company. Really? Is that right? I thought that wasn't happening. I thought that he has divested. Apparently not. Do we get to ask the questions about, and will Republicans be tough enough and strong enough there on Capitol Hill to try to find out more about this, more about the issues regarding Hunter Biden from the past, more of the connections that we have with Joe Biden and China and the concerns that were there before? Do we get to bring that up? Because we know the media is not going to do it. They've already tamped all of this discussion down to the point where there were people like, hey, listen, if I would have known this, I wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden. But they didn't know. And I might suggest that 17% of Biden voters saying that they wouldn't vote for him if they knew not only what he was going to do as a dictator, not my words, his words, and some of the shady dealings when it comes to Hunter Biden in China, that could have made up a big difference. An even bigger margin and a bigger difference in this past election. You know, not that I'm suggesting that there was anything nefarious going on with the election in 2020, because we're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to bring that up. We can't even suggest that. We can't even suggest that we can even investigate further into the future as to whether or not we have election integrity in this country, because then, you know, you're a MAGA terrorist. You know how that works. If Jake Tapper has anything to do with it, it's going to be all over the news.
A terrorist mob. A terrorist attack on the U.S. Capitol. Far-right domestic terrorism, a huge problem in this country. Nobody supports terrorist attacks, or I used to think that anyway, but nobody rational supports terrorist attacks. Should there be repercussions for your colleagues who played a role in inciting this terrorist attack?
You guys just stop. It's unbelievable. But it's there. 239-479-5592. So we have a little bit of that. Joe Biden, who has made it known that by executive order, he apparently is going to get done whatever he wants to do. I'm asking you, Democrats that are listening to this program, you on the left, why is it okay that there were 40, up to 40 now, executive orders being signed? No legislation, nothing like that. You're not screaming about him being a dictator, but somehow Donald Trump was a dictator. Can you make up the difference here? Because if you're going to come on this program and tell us that the reason why this is okay with you is because it's making up for all the bad things that Donald Trump did as president, and all he's doing is setting things right, that is a lie. Because the things that he's doing right now has nothing to do with what Donald Trump was doing. And I might make the suggestion, too, that, again, I've said this to people before, and maybe you disagree, but I wonder if through all of these actions and the things that we're not seeing now, but we will see down the road, when it comes to these executive orders, will there be a change in this country that's not going to happen because we're going to rally, because we're going to be on social media, because we don't have a space? They're already talking about spaces that need to go away, like podcasts. I don't know if you heard about that, Jake. That's the new one from the left. The new one from the left is, do you realize how many podcasts are out there right now that are spewing right-wing hate? And do you know how we might have to examine podcasting? Do you see where they're going? They're going to anything and everything that they could go to, where we can't even have a dialogue. As liberty-loving and freedom-loving Americans, we can't even have a conversation without the left coming along and shutting it down because, well, you know I. But is this naturally going to be the pendulum swing? Is it possible that the pendulum swing is coming because how destructive we already see just in the first week of this administration, what they're trying to do to this country, and talk about fundamentally changing it? You know, Bernie Sanders is loving it.
This is what you do.
You better believe it's doo-doo. All right, give me the doo-doo.
Bowl of doggy doo.
Yeah. I mean, could there be a pendulum swing now? Again, it's going to be a long 4 years, but there are going to be ways that here locally and in the state we can fight back. Certainly, it'd be nice to see some in Tallahassee. We can go to break now, Jake. Some in Tallahassee that would be willing to put forward some bills there in Tallahassee that would suggest that anything coming from the federal government that is unconstitutional, we will not follow, whether that has to do with free speech or anything else. You could do it. So that's one way to fight back. All right, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. DrewSteele.com, your way to watch the program. We stream live right there on the website. You can watch it. It's mobile friendly. It's meant to be mobile friendly, so you can use it on your phone or your smart device. And Facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio as well. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Sabrina Katz has your traffic today.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 in Jaguar is slowing traffic heading eastbound on Jaguar towards Homestead. Also delays in Estero on Three Oaks if you're heading southbound towards Estero Parkway. There is a slowdown as well in Bonita on West Terry heading west towards Imperial Parkway. Now, if you are in Naples, slowing traffic heading northbound on Goodlett Frank continues heading to Vanderbilt Beach. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, heads up, elevated fire danger because of lowering humidity and breezy weather. It will be 10 degrees cooler than your Wednesday. High temperature this afternoon with a mostly sunny sky of 72 degrees. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Recognize the name Janice Dean. She is the senior meteorologist for Fox News. Now, unfortunately, she's getting news coverage herself, and for a tragic reason. Ms. Dean recently lost two family members to the coronavirus. Both her mother-in-law and her father-in-law were among the staggering number of New York State nursing home casualties, at least 6,600 deaths. Janice Dean is now adding her voice to those demanding a full, independent investigation into what happened. Ms. Dean says the examination must require the state health commissioner and others in the state government to provide real answers and accountability. Now, what we already know is horrible. Under Democrat Governor Andrew Cuomo, nursing homes were ordered to take thousands of patients sick with the virus, even though there were plenty of available hospital beds elsewhere in the state. Those New York nursing homes became factories of death as the corona patients infected vulnerable elderly residents. So far, Andrew Cuomo has been protected by the media. He hasn't been called out by CNN, Axios, the New York Times, or the Amazon Prime Washington Post. They're too busy trying to blame the coronavirus on President Trump. Miss Dean, you, your loved ones, thousands of other families deserve to know what happened and why. Sadly, I don't know. I doubt you'll get those answers from Democrats or their drive-by media accomplices. They're still trying to sweep it all under the rug. Last year, there was a victim of identity theft every 3 seconds. That means a cyber bad guy could be selling your personal info on the dark web without you even knowing it. That's just one form of identity theft. Now, you might miss certain threats to your identity by just relying on bank statements or monitoring your credit. The solution? LifeLock identity theft protection. LifeLock sees certain threats that you could miss on your own. Plus, if you become a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will help you fix your problems. Of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can help protect your personal information. Save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com using the promo code RUSH. Just go to LifeLock.com or call 800-440-4833 and enter the promo code RUSH. Promo code RUSH for 25% off.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Now is the time to get countertops at Rock Solid. Why Rock Solid? How about Rock Solid's unbelievable prices? Full slabs of quartz from $599, granite $499, and remnants as low as $150. Rock Solid's vast selection of the finest stone from around the world. Rock Solid's award-winning customer service and installation in about a week. Want the best new countertops for your kitchen? The choice is simple. Rock Solid.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, drewsteele.com is the website if you want to watch. It is mobile friendly. We stream live there. It's like using an app, drewsteele.com. 239-479-5592. When we come back, if you missed it, the audio of John Kerry letting everybody in the press know that, listen, some jobs are going to be lost, but hey, there's going to be great places to go. You're going to build solar panels and so much more. So we'll talk about that. Plus, if you thought the COVID craziness couldn't get any crazier, wait till you hear not only some of the audio coming up of what they're doing in North Carolina when it comes to tennis balls, but also let me make a suggestion to you or ask a question. And Jake, you might want to listen to this here. You know how you get swabbed for COVID now? Well, apparently in China, they've discovered a even better way and a better place to swab where they can give you a more accurate way of finding out whether you have COVID. Would you like to know where they're swabbing in China? I'll tell you what. I'll give you a hint. It is one of the orifices on your body. I will tell you it's probably one of the most unpleasant places you can think of. And yes, it is happening. We'll talk about that coming up.
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
Not 10, not 5, or even 2.9%. Southwest Florida. In 2021, Sutherland is doing something never done before. 0% APR financing on used cars. during the exclusive 0% event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Get unprecedented 0% APR financing on used cars. Save thousands in finance charges and pay the bank no interest for your car. Shop Southwest Florida's largest used car dealer with the biggest selection of certified pre-owned Nissans, Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords. Now, get 0% APR financing. Even get 0% APR financing for up to 84 months on new Nissans, like the Titan truck. Yes, 0% on new, too. Don't miss the 0% event with never offered 0% APR financing at your used car megastore, Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers, and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral right now. Shop online at nissansales.com or capecoralnissan.com. If it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much.
With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Most people that buy their own health insurance think once they have chosen their ACA plan during open enrollment, they're stuck for the year. This is simply not the case. You can change at any time, no problems. If you are fairly healthy and don't need mandated coverage like maternity, you can save 30 to 60% with Health Plan Network. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
President Biden's focus today, health care. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This after already signing 24 executive orders and 38 executive actions since taking office. Fox's Rachel Sutherland details his plans today live.
Dave, Americans will be able to sign up for Obamacare during a special 3-month enrollment period starting February 15th under an expected executive action from President Biden. Normally, that happens in November and December. The president will also issue a memorandum rolling back the Mexico City policy, which bans giving federal money to non-government organizations that provide abortions, and direct a review of whether to rescind the Trump administration's policy barring health care providers in the Title X program from referring patients for abortions. Dave?
Rachel, this was yesterday's theme.
Climate change will be at the center of our national security and foreign policy.
President Biden taking action to cut oil and gas and coal emissions, stable wind energy production, and put on hold new oil and gas drilling leases on federal lands. And the U.S. will lead a climate summit with world leaders in April. New climate envoy John Kerry says
2021 is going to be the year that really makes up for the lost time of the last 4 years.
Kerry insists all this is not at the expense of energy industry workers, but Republicans are wary of President Biden's plans. Senator Rick Scott told the Fox News Rundown podcast.
It's like he's pandering to the radical left that does not care about American workers. They don't care if somebody has a job.
Homeland Security's put out a bulletin in the wake of the deadly Capitol attack 3 weeks ago, warning
some ideologically motivated violent extremists could continue to mobilize to incite or commit violence. The National Bulletin does not point to a specific threat, but notes a heightened threat environment that will persist.
Fox's Jared Halpert, a man who had been convicted in the beheading of American journalist Daniel Pearl, has been ordered set free by Pakistan's Supreme Court. He had later been acquitted. America's listening to Fox News.
Paid for by Asset Marketing Services,
by
LLC.
Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 in Jaguar is slowing traffic heading eastbound on Jaguar towards Homestead. Also delays in Estero on Three Oaks if you're heading southbound towards Estero Parkway. There is a slowdown as well in Bonita on West Terry heading west towards Imperial Parkway. Now, if you are in Naples, slowing traffic heading northbound on Goodlett Frank continues heading to Vanderbilt Beach. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, thanks to a cold front cooler drier and breezy. Granted, it's going to feel better, but heads up, we do have an elevated fire danger. Mostly sunny this afternoon with highs in the lower to middle 70s, dipping back down into the 40s for your Friday morning. Nice and sunny by the afternoon. High temperatures near 70, 75 on Saturday, mostly sunny. And then sunshine and increasing clouds on Sunday with a slight chance of rain. And actually, morning rain possible by Monday as temperatures will be topping out into the 70s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? They're here, but you can do more than wait for your turn. Here's how. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them too. And masks? Well, they protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them. Wear a mask, watch your distance, and make a big difference now.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan has been authorized to continue offering the full original MSRP for your trade-in. The factory warned us to end the offer, but after record-breaking sales in 2020, we've been approved to continue running it. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, regardless of where you purchased it from, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Hundreds of new Nissan models to choose from. All backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite and get full details at naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're joining us today, making this program the start of your day. We do appreciate it. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line, it is there. Streaming live, drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's, DREWSTEELE.com. drewsteele.com, you go to the website. It is mobile friendly, so when you go there on your smart device, whatever browser you're using, you just click on the video, and there you go. You're watching us streaming live from your smartphone, smart device, even on your computer. And then, of course, anytime you want to go, you can go for the time being to YouTube. Just look for Drew Steele Radio and also Facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio. Wherever you go, we do appreciate you watching. All right, we're going to get to the new the latest in what is the dictatorial monarchy of Joe Biden. Again, not my words, his words, because anybody that would do executive orders and not go through the legislative process to get things done is a dictator. That's what he said in October. And now we come to find out that he is the dictator, and it's his own words, and he admits it. You've got John Kerry in the Biden administration. Hey, listen, we're going to kill some jobs. He's a job killer. So he's a dictator and a job killer, and it really is something that is there open for everybody to see. But of course, you know, the spin and the interpretation is what it's all about. And boy, there's nothing like a private plane flying, mansion owning, big carbon fat footprint dude like John Kerry to come along and say, hey, you know, we got to fix things. Don't look at me. No, really, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at my homes. Don't look at the mansions. Don't look at the money I have. Don't look at the carbon footprint. Don't look at the private planes. Don't look at anything like that. It's all about you and how you need to be fixed. So John Kerry, we're going to have some audio as the U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate. Look, the left is going to destroy this country. They're going to destroy it in ways probably that we haven't thought about. In other words, going around the legislative process, finding different ways to do it. Chuck Schumer finding ways to stack the courts. John Kerry finding ways under the guise of climate emergency, because everybody knows, no, not everybody knows there's a climate emergency. Again, we'll get to that coming up. But ways that the left wants to destroy this country right in front of our eyes. They're not even shy about it anymore, because they know they have a willing media to go along with it. And they have a lot of people who voted for Joe Biden as an anti-Trump vote, not even realizing what they were getting. Hey, listen, it's already done. He's already president. We got 4 years. Sorry. How are you going to change it? Well, we got a way to do that coming up. All right, look, things are bad, but it's not that bad. Even when you get to, well, I guess it really is that bad. But I mean, it's not like we've got some weird, strange COVID-related news that you probably never thought about in your whole life. Like if we were going to swab for COVID, we wouldn't be swabbing in places that shouldn't even be discussed. I mean, it's the nose, right? That's where you go, and we wouldn't go anyplace else on your body to swab. And oh, wait, this just in. It gets even worse, everybody. If you think you want to add insult to injury, here you go. China begins using, oh gosh, do I have to say it? I won't say it, but I'll just kind of hint around and explain it. They've got another way that they're swabbing the test for COVID-19 in Beijing. And they said that the procedure is a method that gives you a more accurate detection of the virus. And let's just put it this way. Think about the orifices of your body, and then think about one that you don't want anybody swabbing. It's that one. Beijing has begun using a swab in a place that you don't even want to think about to test its residents for COVID-19. And look, the Daily Wire has the story. They go into the specifics of how it's being done. I don't even want to describe it because it is absolutely disgusting. And that's where they're doing it in China. And I just want to make sure that not everything is bought, manufactured, or comes from China. Can we just leave some things alone? Please. Yeah, okay, moving on. 239-479-5592. John Kerry, here you go. You know, it's the dictator, Joe Biden, his words, putting forward all kinds of executive orders, not legislation. We wouldn't want Congress to work too hard. Here's John Kerry being asked about, hey, listen, you got some folks in the energy sector that have jobs. We're killing jobs right out of the gate. Tens of thousands of jobs being lost. Keystone Pipeline. You've got the oil industry fracking. You've got plumbers, pipe fitters. You've got electricians that go along with that. The ancillary businesses that are going to be hurt, like restaurants and hotels. And you can go on and on. And what does John Kerry say? So the question is,
watching you both right now, who will hear the message that the takeaway to them is that they are seeing an end to their livelihoods. What do you say to them, particularly those people who President Trump struck a chord with on the campaign trail when he promised to save their jobs? What is your message to them right now? And also to the oil industry executives who are listening, Are you putting them on notice today?
Putting them on notice. You know, all the people that lost their jobs that President Trump was like, listen, we don't have to lose these jobs. As a matter of fact, he's reaching out to them because he understands the importance of energy independence right now and a private sector that can come along and figure out ways to do things like solar and wind and the like. And with American ingenuity, we can get things done in technology and how that grows when you nurture a private sector that we know that the public sector does not create jobs, even though they like to believe that they create jobs, that it comes from the private sector. Why not? No. It's all about the government and how government's going to fix it for you. So what do you say to all those people, John Kerry, as the U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate? Boy, I wonder how Al Gore feels about that. I'm going to leave Al Gore out of this. Here's John Kerry.
Well, we didn't come here to put anybody on notice except to the seriousness of President Biden's intent to do what needs to be done to deal with this crisis.
Yeah, well, number one, we're getting the seriousness of it, right? He's so serious that he's willing to kill jobs under the guise that, oh, don't worry, we'll create new jobs. Really? Really? I'm going to take your word for it. Gotcha.
And it is a crisis.
It's not a crisis.
With respect to those workers, no two people are more in this room are more concerned about it than the President of the United States.
How could you be more concerned than anybody else, including the President of the United States, when you're killing their jobs? I mean, does the media want to do anything to push back against this? It's a joke, right? But it's not a joke.
Has expressed in every comment he has made about climate the need to grow the new jobs that pay better, that are cleaner. That, I mean, you know, you look at the consequences of black lung for a miner, for instance, and measure that against the fastest growing job in the United States before COVID was solar power technician. The same people can do those jobs.
You know, he's going to spew a bunch of numbers and things. Well, not even numbers. He's just going to say a bunch of things and, you know, lips are moving. So, you know, he's lying. But I would love for people to be able to research and push back against this, if there is any, and to find out when you have a politician who's claiming that this is the number one job creator, this is where the jobs are coming from, can we see the numbers and can we see if you've manipulated it in some way, if what you're saying is true? There's never any pushback. All right, so what else does he say?
This is happening. 75%, 70% of all the electricity that's come online in the United States in the last few years came from renewables. Not, you know, coal plants have been closing over the last 20 years. So what President Biden wants to do is make sure those folks have better choices, that they have alternatives, that they can be the people who go to work to make the solar panels.
So John Kerry, who flew his private plane, I am sure, to Washington, D.C., leaving his 172-bedroom mansion or whatever it is. I mean, it's a large mansion. One of his many homes. His carbon footprint big enough to cover all of Provo. I'm just bringing up a city, I don't know. His suggestion is the way to go about this and to not have these energy workers concerned about losing their jobs is that you're the guys that are going to make the solar panels. Come on. Who wouldn't be up for that? This is exciting.
We're making them here at home.
We're making them at home. I mean, how much more exciting could this be? It's not like the energy is being produced from home. It's not like there's that. So again, it's not their fault. It's just the way it is.
And I think that unfortunately workers have been fed a false narrative.
What is that?
No surprise, right? For the last few years.
Tell us.
They've been fed the notion that somehow dealing with climate is coming at their expense. No, it's not.
Okay. I mean, nobody pushes back against this. It's not coming at their expense. You're killing their jobs. And the reason why you're doing it is under the guise of climate. You're killing their jobs. How do you get away with saying that? Because you're John Kerry, because you're the left, you're Joe Biden. Joe Biden's a dictator. There's no doubt about it.
Not a joke.
Again, and if you're wondering why I'm saying this whole thing about Joe Biden being a dictator, and it's really not fair, and how dare you say things like that, especially because for 4 years we were telling you that Orange Man bad, and he's the dictator. That guy was the dictator. Oh, man, are you kidding me? He's never going to leave office. They're going to have to carry him out. They're going to have to handcuff him, and he's going to leave the White House in a truck, handcuffed, because he'll never leave, that kind of dictator. You've been saying this for so long, and yet it was Joe Biden who was saying when it comes to executive orders, and you don't do that. We live in a democracy. I mean, some
of my Republican friends and some of my Democratic friends even occasionally say, well, if you can't get the votes by executive order, you're going to do something. Things you can't do by executive order unless you're a dictator.
Unless you're a dictator, that's you. You're self-describing how you are a dictator. 239-479-5592. It doesn't, listen, when it comes to executive orders and when it comes to what this administration plans on doing, it doesn't get much better. Because, according to the new energy secretary being grilled on Capitol Hill, Granholm, there she is talking about how, listen, just want to let you know that some jobs just have to be sacrificed. We just got to sacrifice some jobs, everybody. There's just no way about it. Can't get around it. Got to sacrifice some jobs. That's okay, right? 239-479-5592. Streaming live, drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. You can go to the website. It's the mobile version. And you go to Facebook if you'd like, facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio there as well. If you would like to watch, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, there is Sabrina Katz.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 in Jaguar is slowing traffic heading eastbound on Jaguar towards Homestead. Also delays in Estero on Three Oaks if you're heading southbound towards Estero Parkway. There is a slowdown as well in Bonita on West Terry heading west towards Imperial Parkway. Now, if you are in Naples, slowing traffic heading northbound on Goodlette Frank continues heading to Vanderbilt Beach. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, heads up, elevated fire danger because of lowering humidity and breezy weather. It will be 10 degrees cooler than your Wednesday. High temperature this afternoon with a mostly sunny sky of 72 degrees. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Ready to make 2021 the year you meet people who love to do the same things you do?
Making pizza with someone who's as into it as me? What could be better?
How about we share a bottle of wine? Our Time is the #1 dating site made for singles over 50. It's easy to use and can help you find people who are ready to do something fun. Today, even doing the simple things are better together.
A walk and some ice cream with someone sounds like the perfect treat.
Find someone over 50 who loves to do what you do on Our Time. Start for free at OurTime.com today.
It's a new year and a fresh start. And a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a conditioned air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
You went online to switch your car insurance to Progressive so you could save money. But then you saw a friend request from an old summer camp buddy. And now here you are, clicking through photos of his kickball team from 2011.
looks like they won the championship that year. Then he moved to Tulsa. Oh, a new tattoo. Yes, they said it was easy to save hundreds on car insurance with Progressive, but they forgot about the rest of the internet. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National average savings by new customer surveyed who saved in 2019.
Start the year off right. Don't miss Lowe's Just for Pros event, now through January 29th. The savings add up fast when you get deals on your go-to brands like HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. During our Just for Pros event, get 25% off 5-gallon pails of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Showcase. You can also take advantage of special offers and other savings opportunities to help keep your business moving. Shop in store or on lowesforpros.com and choose pickup. Lowe's, the new home for pros. Offer valid through 129, U.S. only.
Hey, this is Pop-Up introducing an old friend, Tim Weir of Wise Owl Roofing. Tim specializes in metal roofs, flat roofs, and re-roofing tile roofs. If you need a free estimate, please call me at 945-2700. As always, we offer our free tile roof inspection. If you have a dirty tile roof or have some slipped or cracked tiles, please call me at 945-2700. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, we want to thank all of you that have responded to Papa's wacky commercials over the past 34 years. We specialize in cleaning and sealing tile roofs. If your roof went through Hurricane Irma and you don't see any damage, it's still a good idea to have your tile roof inspected to make sure your roof is in good shape. Over the years, we've collected thousands of the old concrete tiles that have never been used, and likely we can match your existing tile that need to be replaced. Please call Papa at 945-2700. That's area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. DrewSteele.com, the website, in case you want to stream. You can watch us live. It's the mobile version, as well as on your computer, wherever you are. Drew Steele. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching this morning. Where was I going to go here? I was looking. I want to remind you that coming up in a couple of more minutes, Jonathan Hoenig, who's a Fox News contributor on Fox Business and also from the capitalistpig.com website. We're going to talk more about this Gamestop Wall Street issue and this dilemma that's happening right now and why people are talking about it, why people are freaking out about it, get into some of those details. So, just to remind you that as I play the audio of Joe Biden admitting that he's a dictator and what he's doing with these executive orders and how he's moving forward with these executive orders, which is crazy because you do realize that executive orders without legislation, guess what? They can go away with a new administration just like that, just like they're claiming they're doing, trying to repair the damage done by Donald Trump as president of the United States. We have this little ditty because, there's also judges to deal with. And Chuck Schumer wanted to let Rachel Maddow know yesterday that, hey, listen, we've got quite the opportunity here to stack the courts. They're loving this idea.
Now, as for the Supreme Court, that's the big one. And President Biden has put together this commission to come up with a report in 180 days.
What, a commission in 180 days of a report of how what? Of how you all are going to try to do this or what? Holding your finger up to the wind to see what the rest of America thinks? Not that you would care what the rest of America thinks, because when you have a leftist agenda like you have, that you could care less about how it's going to hurt the country. Okay, but go ahead.
We're going to see what that commission says and go from there.
In terms of whether or not there should be additional seats on the Supreme Court?
Correct.
Do you have an opinion on it heading into that process?
I'm going to wait for his report.
Do you have the sense that your caucus has an opinion on that heading into?
I think people are torn. Mm-hmm. Let's see what the report says.
Let's see what the report says. Let's leave it in the report's hand. And if the report says, we got to do it, let's do it. Let's stack the courts, because when a president comes in and you have a lot of conservative judges coming in at a federal level, and then you have some Supreme Court justices that are being chosen by a president legally, nothing nefarious, nothing crazy, just because you don't like it, sorry about that, then the only way for the left to fix it, the only way for the left to fix American values, conservative values, your faith values, all of those things, is by executive order against the will of the people. And And how do you think that works out in the long run? 239-479-5592. When we come back, if you've been confused about this whole Gamestop Wall Street issue, Jonathan Honig is going to join us in a couple of minutes. Hopefully we can clear it up and explain how crazy this is right now. Wall Street not happy. We'll talk about it coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake DeMolino for AMCO Bonita Springs.
Come have an exciting offshore fishing adventure and maybe even hook up aboard the Blind Date. Blind Date Charters offers backwaters to offshore fishing and more. Whether you target tarpon, grouper, or snapper, the trip won't disappoint. Captain Tom Katz will provide a first-class experience that'll leave you with memories that last a lifetime. Call Blind Date Charters at 239-810-2473. That's 239-810-2473.
Looking around your law firm, it's hard not to be proud of what you've created. A respected brand with 20 associates who give their all every day. You have what it takes to go big. Everything except a plan. How will you expand your footprint or increase revenue? Lexicon makes it possible. Lexicon is a legal services and technology provider with over a decade of experience helping law firms scale and grow while maximizing billable hours and maintaining client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/grow to learn more.
With the new president, so much is happening in Washington. Now, millions are turning to Newsmax TV, your trusted news source. They're going online to Newsmax.com for breaking news and downloading the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get Newsmax, call your cable operator or watch it free on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax is real news for real people. Start watching today.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
I'm Chris Foster. President Biden continues his blitz of executive orders and actions today focused on health care. Fox's Peter Ducey.
He's going to make Obamacare even bigger with 2 new executive orders. One of them is going to reopen the Obamacare marketplaces for anybody who missed open enrollment because the White House is hoping to get more people covered during the pandemic. That is going to happen on February 15th and run through May, shortly after a promotional blitz to make sure anybody who might want to enroll knows it's possible.
The president's also ending a Trump administration-imposed ban on funding for international nonprofits that provide abortion counseling. Oregon healthcare workers stuck during a snowstorm went car to car offering coronavirus vaccines before the shots went bad.
Josephine County Public Health posted on Facebook the impromptu vaccine clinic. 6 of the vaccines were getting close to expiring. All the doses were administered, including one to a sheriff's employee who had arrived too late for the clinic but ended up stuck with the others.
Fox's Tom Ridotti. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
A crash in Lehigh Acres at State Road 82 in Jaguar is slowing traffic heading eastbound on Jaguar towards Homestead. Also delays in Estero on 3 Oaks if you're heading southbound towards Estero Parkway. There is a slowdown as well in Bonita on West Terry heading west towards Imperial Parkway. Now, if you are in Naples, slowing traffic heading northbound on Goodlette Frank continues heading to Vanderbilt Beach. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, thanks to a cold front, cooler, drier, and breezy. Granted, it's going to feel better, but heads up, we do have an elevated fire danger. Mostly sunny this afternoon with highs in the lower to middle 70s, dipping back down into the 40s for your Friday morning. Nice and sunny by the afternoon. High temperatures near 70, 75 on Saturday, mostly sunny. And then sunshine and increasing clouds on Sunday with a slight chance of rain. And actually, morning rain possible by Monday as temperatures will be topping out into the 70s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
It's not the Republican Party versus the Democrat Party.
Talking about what matters.
It's the Republican Party versus an organized crime syndicate.
92.5 Fox News.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you. Welcome to Smart Floors. For a limited time, Smart Floors is offering contractor pricing on all CoreTech vinyl luxury flooring. CoreTech, normally priced at $3.99 a square foot, is yours for only $2.99. And CoreTech, that's $5.99, is now only $4.49. No gimmicks, no hassles, just smart service at a smart price. In Naples, next to Home Goods in the Park Shore Plaza.
When shopping for new floor, we stand for so much more. Smart service, smart prices, Smart Floors.
True relief for back and neck pain.
In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Kennedy at 3 and drive home with Trey Radel at 5. Now back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live anytime you want to watch. DrewSteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. You can go there. It's mobile friendly, so you can watch on your phone or your smart device. And of course, if you want to go to Facebook, facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio to watch as well. We are so happy to have Jonathan Honig with us right now, joining us on Daybreak. CapitalistPig.com is the website. You've got to follow him on Twitter as well at Jonathan Honig. And you've probably seen him a few times on Fox Business and more. And he's joining us this morning. It's Drew Steele. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Drew, great to be with you. Well, and I have to say, I'm probably like some of your listeners. I'm kicking myself a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
I've been investing for decades. I invest in, companies that make money, good valuations. I could have just put it all in, GameStop, which is a struggling video game retailer, or AMC, an almost bankrupt video or a movie theater, and made hundreds of thousands of percent in just the last couple of days. Amazing moves in the market.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and that's the thing. There are people that are looking at the GameStop story and are just confused. Now, there are some on one side that are saying, well, there must be something magical with the valuation of the stock itself. The company must be doing amazing. They must have done something magical. Or there's the other side that's going, wait a minute. This is like Bitcoin territory. This is kind of crazy. I don't, this kind of volatility, what's happening here. Can you explain to people who are trying to follow this story, what in the world is happening?
Sure. Well, it's pretty remarkable to see shares of GameStop, which is, just to set the context here, Drew, GameStop is they're not coming up with a cure for coronavirus or some kind of fancy new technology. This is a brick and mortar video game retailer, that strip malls, etc. It stacks up 1,000% this year alone. But let's set the scene very briefly. This is the context of a market at an all-time high. You've got massive interest in speculation, a lot of people at home, maybe a little bit bored with the pandemic, with the stimulus check in their pocket. So there's been this huge interest in day trading and hot money trading that we really haven't seen since the late 1990s. At the same time, you've got these online platforms that now make trading free, and you have a lot of professionals, Drew, who've been betting against, that is short selling, companies that don't have a real bright future, like AMC, like GameStop. So you've got all the amateurs, if you will, piling into these stocks. A lot of the professionals short betting against these stocks, and as it goes up, the pros have to cover, and that's why you're seeing what's known as a classic short squeeze. People have bet against GameStop, AMC, a lot of others are having to buy back those shares at higher prices. That's forcing them up even more.
So when people, Jonathan, look at the situation, one of the things that people ask me is, well, wait a minute, is this legal? Is this illegal? It looks as if the market's been doing this forever. It's not something to short something is not uncommon. We all know if even 101, you hear about shorts and in the marketplace, but then on the outside, these forces do it. All of a sudden, people are up in arms. There's nothing illegal in the activity of what's happening, right?
No, I think it's not illegal, Drew, but I think it's, we've never kind of seen it this big before. Back in the 20s and 30s, it could have been, newspaper columnists and a few shady characters who colluded to try to manipulate her. So now you have these Reddit message boards where, tens of thousands, even millions of people are, sharing stock ideas. And, when you get, 10,000 people each buying a few hundred shares or even more of a stock, you can move that stock, at least for the short term. That's the thing. And as you're alluding to, we've seen this story before. They rise fast, but oftentimes they fall just as fast. And just a few months ago, you saw a similar type of thing with shares of a company called Hertz. The bank now, it was a bankrupt car rental service,
right,
up hundreds and hundreds of percent, the known to fall. So you got to approach this as caveat emptor. That's why they call it speculation. And many of these fundamentally worthless companies are not going to sustain these astronomical prices for long.
Yeah, Jonathan Honig joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, capitalistpig.com, the website. Visit the website and see him on Twitter as well at Jonathan Honig. And Jonathan, my producer, is waving at me, and he wants to ask this question because this is something fundamental that a lot of people just want to know is, can you describe to people what it means to short something?
Sure. Well, when you buy a stock, you in effect are betting that it goes up. But when you sell it short, you're anticipating or you're betting that it goes down. So how you accomplish that in a nutshell is you borrow the shares, then you sell them in anticipation of buying them back at a lower price. That's how you make money if a stock goes down. But, a stock can literally go to the moon. GameStop closed yesterday at $340 a share. It's going to open above $400 a share this morning. So the amount of money that a short seller can lose is theoretically unlimited, whereas when you buy a stock, of course, the most you can lose is it can go to zero. But, GameStop could go to $500, $600, $7,000 a share. So that's what creates this kind of, I guess you could say it's a virtuous cycle if you own the shares, is that they can go higher and higher as those who bet against the stock have to cover at higher prices. So short selling, as you said, it's perfectly legal. It actually makes markets more efficient. A lot of companies one should bet against when they are fundamentally unsound. So short selling is a a really productive part of the economy. But when it goes against you, you can lose a lot of money in a minute, and that's what we're seeing with GameStop this morning.
So when you look at this from the 30,000-foot view and you see what is happening, you see people nervous on Wall Street, you see hedge funds who apparently have had to infuse themselves with cash in order to take care of the puts, I guess the paying back of, and the concerns there. And I hope I'm right when I say that, because I'm not sure if I'm right. But
sure.
But having
we've had a lot of major investors, so-called smart investors, lose a lot of money betting against the amateurs, if you will, the day traders. That's part of what makes this story so interesting.
So from the 30,000-foot view, then, is this if this is a quote unquote crisis? You hate to say that it seems like everything these days is a crisis, but if it were, is it a crisis of confidence in the market now that a group on Reddit could do this, that it makes people look and examine what is happening on Wall Street, and the concern on that side would be the lack of confidence now in some places? Is that a concern?
Drew, I have to tell you, I don't think it's a lack of confidence. I actually think it's a little overconfidence. I mean, think back in 2009 and 2010, you would not see people plowing thousands of dollars into stocks that they'd never heard of. And back then, people were still reeling from the global financial crisis. I mean, I think what we have here is kind of a lot of hot money flying around. We've always had that. But to your point, you're going to start to see more and more regulators. I mean, already the Massachusetts Secretary of State, a gentleman by the name of Bill Galvin, he's calling for a 30-day suspension of GameStop stock trading, basically shutting it down, like a cooling off period, like you're going to buy a firearm or something like that. So you're going to start to see regulators get involved. I think for most listeners, it shouldn't even just be a question of caveat emptor, but just that, this is a speculation. This is a gamble. It's not long-term investing. You shouldn't confuse it as such. And for most people, just sticking with that long-term plan is the best way, the safest way, the most successful way to make money over time. Day trading, it's come and gone. It's always lost money, long-term, short-term. So to participate in something like this, you're taking a real risk with money that oftentimes people need long-term.
Sure. Jonathan, before we go, I have to ask you this question. The market as a whole, as we move forward with this new administration, and some people I think that I talk to maybe get confused about how is it possible that you would see one administration that you would assume, for example, might not do as well as another administration, whether it's Republican, Democrat. People are looking at one party and saying, well, it's going to be this way with one party and this way with another, which is not the way to look at the markets. But the markets right now, with everything that is happening, they do like, for lack of a better way of putting it, this administration, because anytime there's money that is being fed in from the federal government, that's a good thing for the markets. Is that the markets don't mind that? As a matter of fact, the markets love that because that's an infusing of cash, and so that makes them happy. Is that why there's this stability right now with everything that's even gone on past the election on January 6th and even leading into today?
That's an interesting observation, Drew, and you're right. I mean, markets often like that stimulus, as you said, at least in the short term. What people forget is that longer term, that stimulus ends up being a drag. I mean, after in 2008, with the $800-some billion stimulus check, the market actually fell another 40% over the subsequent 40 months. And even in an example like Japan, they've been so-called stimulating their economy for about 20 years. It hasn't gotten so far. And even in 2008, all that stimulus resulted in the slowest economic recovery in modern history. So, short-term markets like that stimulus. And you're right, there really has never been any correlation between markets tend to do better under Democrats or Republicans. What we do know is that markets tend to do better, economies tend to do better, countries tend to do better under low taxes, low regulation, free market policies. So that's, I think, what markets and investors, big and small, are going to be looking at, whether it's in energy, whether it's in now technology. You've got Google and Facebook in the crosshairs of a lot of its states' attorney generals and antitrust. I think the more so-called crackdown you see on big companies, technology, the worse the economy is going to do. So much of what happens on Wall Street now depends on what happens in Washington right now. So all eyes are on Biden big time.
Well, great stuff. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you joining us for a few minutes, Jonathan Honig. Of course, capitalistpig.com. You've probably seen him a few times or more on Fox Business. And if you want to follow him on Twitter, he's a great follow at Jonathan Honig. We appreciate a few minutes. Thank you so much. And hopefully we get a chance to do this again. All the best.
Great to be with you, Drew. Thanks for your listeners as well.
All right. We'll see you soon. There he goes. Yeah. Trying to explain this this GameStop issue has been it's been crazy, and Jake has been talking. I give the millennial a little bit of credit because Jake, going on these subgroups on Reddit, you knew about. How long ago did you know about this, Jake? How long did you know that these groups were growing and growing and growing and the talk about doing these things?
I bought Hertz like he was talking about the first time. This was 6 months ago.
He's been watching this. And now a couple of things that come to mind. Number one, you may be asking yourself, well, is there going to be any kind of regulation? Is there going to be any kind of examination? You heard Jonathan Honig talking about how even some places won't allow you to even trade in some of these stocks. They won't allow you to get involved, right? There are places that.
Yeah, most of them either have a disclaimer, you have to sign papers, and most of the other ones, you just can't even, there's no option.
So Jen Psaki yesterday, White House press secretary, was asked by the press, the big question here is, are you guys watching this? What are you doing?
Or whatever, the company that was Blockbuster. And have there been any conversations with the SEC about how to proceed?
Yeah, have you talked to the SEC? Have you been talking about this? You all have a plan to figure out what's going on here? And Jen Psaki says,
well, I'm also happy to repeat that we have the first female Treasury Secretary and a team that's surrounding her. And
yeah, so we have Janet Yellen. Did I mention we got a female Treasury Secretary now? Isn't that cool? Of course, she doesn't answer the question, and she's like, stocks are volatile. Be careful. Yeah, but we got a female there running the Treasury. Isn't that sweet? And that's about where the involvement is right now with the White House. But I think they're going to be circling back, right? Wasn't that? I know yesterday we were playing that little clip because Jen Psaki wants to make sure that everybody understands that don't you worry about it. We'll circle back on some of the things that are going on. We'll get to.
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you. I'll circle back with you if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back with you.
All right, so I'm sure they'll circle back on this as well. All right. Hey, if you would like to play Drew's College of Political Knowledge for questions on politics, the more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD and want to have a little fun right now. We would love for you to join us. If you so choose, I open up the phone lines. If you'd like to call, 239-479-5592, and we'll take caller number 3 right now if you want to have a little bit of fun and play. A little civics lesson here, a little civics 101 on Daybreak. Take caller number 3 right now. Play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, Sabrina Katz has your traffic.
The crash on 75 is now slowing traffic for 4 miles heading south of Daniels Parkway. Avoid the interstate. Really just stick to either Michael G. Rip, US 41, or Tree Line. Also, we're slammed on Daniels Extension coming out of Lehigh. Also, on Colonial, very slow morning to the interstate. The best thing as of right now, if you're heading to 75, is to stick to MLK Boulevard. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, heads up, elevated fire danger because of lowering humidity and breezy weather. It will be 10 degrees cooler than your Wednesday. High temperature this afternoon with a mostly sunny sky of 72 degrees. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Not 10, not 5, or even 2.9%. Southwest Florida. In 2021, Sutherland is doing something never done before. 0% APR financing on used cars. During the exclusive 0% event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Get unprecedented 0% APR financing on used cars. Save thousands in finance charges and pay the bank no interest for your car. Shop Southwest Florida's largest used car dealer with the biggest selection of certified pre-owned Nissans, Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords. Now, get 0% APR financing. Even get 0% APR financing for up to 84 months on new Nissans, like the Titan truck. Yes, 0% on new, too. Don't miss the 0% event with never offered 0% APR financing at your used car megastore. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral right now. Shop online at nissansales.com or capecoralnissan.com. If it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much. With approved credit, see dealer for details.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Today, your energy is not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. At FPL, we work each day to drive efficiency up and costs down to help keep your bills among the lowest in the nation, lower than many states, including New York, Michigan, and California. That's America's best energy value working for you. See how our bill compares. Go to fpl.com/value.
It's a new year and a fresh start. And a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a conditioned air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Saturday night, an evening of great local stories and music that will inspire and warm your heart. Presented by the Naples Children and Education Foundation, founders of the Naples Winter Wine Festival. Meet people whose lives have been changed for the better by the generosity of Southwest Floridians. I'm Lindsay Sablon from Wink News. Join me and Wink News anchor Lois Tomey for NCEF, A Community Comes Together.
Saturday night at 7 on Wink TV.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right. Let's go to Valerie. Valerie is in Naples. Hello, Valerie.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Do they call you Val for short?
Sure.
Okay. Valerie, it's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question starts right now. Valerie, what are the 2 parts of the United States Congress? When we talk about Congress not doing anything legislatively, they're just sitting around, what are they, the 2 parts?
That would be the Senate and the House of Representatives.
That is correct. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Who was John F. Kennedy's vice president?
Lyndon Johnson.
That is correct. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Who was the president of the United States during the Great Depression and World War II? Great Depression and World War II. Who was the president?
FDR.
That is correct. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this very question. Today is the very day that the United States Coast Guard was created. Today, the Coast Guard was created. But what year was the United States Coast Guard created? Was it 1905, 1915, or 1925?
Okay, this is going to be a guess. 1915.
You should have said you knew it because you're right. Look at you. Congratulations, Valerie. Great job. You got yourself a PhD today, even though you said you guessed on the last one, but I'm going to say that you didn't. I'm going to say you knew it. You were right all along, Valerie. That's what I'm going to say.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are, and yes, you will be. All right. Well, Valerie, listen, I appreciate you calling this morning, and where are you driving to, by the way? You're on your way to work, to see friends?
Yes, I am.
All right, great.
On my way to work.
All right. Well, if you want to maybe give a shout out? Do you want to say, if you don't want to say, what do you do? Maybe we could put it that way. Can you tell us what you do, or are we not allowed to? Okay.
I'm a middle school teacher.
Yay!
Yes, at Immokalee.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, that is fantastic. Well, we love that you're doing that, teaching the kids, and I believe, to be honest, that the children are our future, and we have to teach them right and let them lead the way.
That's correct. Yes.
Show them all the beauty that they possess inside.
I love it.
Yes, I do. I do too. All right, Valerie, thank you so much for playing. We appreciate you listening, and have a wonderful day with the kids today. 239-479-5592. That didn't come off the top of my head. That was a song. Did you know that?
You know I don't know that. And I feel like that's why you said it.
I believe that the children are our future. We teach them well and let them lead the way and show them all the beauty that they possess inside. You have to give them a sense of pride. You have no idea what I'm... Never mind.
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I'm an interior designer and I trust Rock Solid.
If you're looking for just the right countertops for your home, the choice is simple. Rock Solid.
I'm a contractor and I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
Whether you're a homeowner or a contractor who wants the finest countertops, choose Rock Solid, a company you can trust.
Rock Solid in the Pink Building, 2240 J&C Boulevard, Naples. Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan has been authorized to continue offering the full original MSRP for your trade-in. The factory warned us to end the offer, but after record-breaking sales in 2020, we've been approved to continue running it. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, regardless of where you purchased it from, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Hundreds of new Nissan models to choose from, all backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite and get full details at naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. Now that our economy has reopened and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
It's just the opposite of what President Trump tried to do. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Instead of ending Obamacare, President Biden wants to get more Americans covered under it. With health care the theme of his executive orders and actions today, readying a new special enrollment period.
The White House is hoping to get more people covered during the pandemic. That is going to happen on February 15th and run through May, shortly after a promotional blitz to make sure anybody who might want to enroll knows it's possible. There's also going to be an executive order aimed at protecting women's health at home and abroad.
Fox's Peter Ducey. The president's also directing officials to consider ending a Trump rule barring federally funded family planning clinics from referring women for abortions. The president's theme yesterday, orders and actions on climate change.
In my view, we've already waited too long to deal with this climate crisis.
The industry claims he's putting people out of work. Climate envoy John Kerry says
they've been fed the notion that somehow dealing with climate is coming at their expense. No, it's not.
But Republican Senator Ted Cruz tells Fox
the Democratic elites have decided that blue-collar workers, that union members, that men and women with calluses on their hands, they've made the wrong choices, in John Kerry's words.
In this COVID crisis, it's been tough to find cleaning supplies, and you might have noticed a lot of different hand sanitizers. Well, there's a new warning on those. Fox's Evan Brown has the update live.
Yeah, Dave, this has to do with hand sanitizer products imported from Mexico. The FDA says 200 different products could contain methanol or methyl alcohol, otherwise known as wood alcohol. It's poisonous, and using it could lead to blindness, heart issues, and even death. The FDA alert means importers should be on the lookout for the products, and so should consumers, Dave.
Now, even there were nearly 4,000 more COVID deaths in the U.S. yesterday, it's 8,000 the past 2 days. America's listening to Fox News.
Paid for by Asset Marketing.
Wink News traffic.
The crash on 75 is now slowing traffic for 4 miles heading south of Daniels Parkway. Avoid the interstate. Really just stick to either Michael G. Rip, US 41, or Tree Line. Also, we're slammed on Daniels Extension coming out of Lehigh. Also on Colonial, very slow morning to the interstate. The best thing as of right now, if you're heading to 75, is to stick to MLK Boulevard. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, thanks to a cold front, cooler, drier, and breezy. Granted, it's going to feel better, but heads up, we do have an elevated fire danger. Mostly sunny this afternoon with highs in the lower to middle 70s, dipping back down into the 40s for your Friday morning. Nice and sunny by the afternoon. High temperatures near 70, 75 on Saturday, mostly sunny. And then sunshine and increasing clouds on Sunday with a slight chance of rain. And actually, morning rain possible by Monday as temperatures will be topping out into the 70s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest-growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Come have an exciting offshore fishing adventure and maybe even hook up aboard the Blind Date. Blind Date Charters offers backwaters to offshore fishing and more. Whether you target tarpon, grouper, or snapper, the trip won't disappoint. Captain Tom Katz will provide a first-class experience that'll leave you with memories that last a lifetime. Call Blind Date Charters at 239-810-2473. That's 239-810-2473.
Hey, Southwest Florida, it's Tyler McCluskey here, and I want to introduce you to my new show being broadcast every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. We'll be talking everything insurance, real estate, mortgages, and all your local talent. Everything you need to know to help your businesses grow. I can't wait to start this journey with you all, and looking forward for you to tuning in every Saturday at 11 a.m. For more information, visit TylerMcCluskey.com. See you all there.
Welcome to Smart Floors. For a limited time, Smart Floors is offering contractor pricing on all CoreTech vinyl luxury flooring. CoreTech, normally priced at $3.99 a square foot, is yours for only $2.99. And CoreTech, that's $5.99, is now only $4.49. No gimmicks, no hassles, just smart service at a smart price. In Naples, next to Home Goods in the Park Shore Plaza.
When shopping for new floor, we stand for so much more. Smart service, smart prices, Smart Floors.
Are you ready for the very best? Hello, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples, and I invite you to experience the luxury, safety, and satisfaction of driving a new Genesis. Leading in luxury year after year, Genesis is the highest-ranked luxury brand in initial quality 4 years in a row by J.D. Power and received the industry's premier safety ratings. Right now, you can finance the new 2020 G70 with 0% APR or experience the power, intelligence, and efficiency the all-new 2021 G80 offers, a car that automatically adjusts to match your driving style. Looking for elegance? Take it to new heights in the all-new 2021 G90 for effortless performance and precise handling, and brand new to our lineup, the new 2021 Genesis GV80, the new face of young luxury and the first ever SUV for Genesis, in stock and arriving daily. Visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or online at genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models. For JD Power 2020 award info, visit jdpower.com.
It's time to get back outside at the 6th Annual Lovers Key Boat Show Market and Seafood Fest. Bonita Springs Rotary invites you to a weekend of seafood, beer garden, boats, arts and crafts, and Florida sunshine. Along with the Friends of Lovers Key, our COVID-safe outdoor event is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 9 to 5. The parking's free, the beer's cold, the shrimp and fish are fresh. Get out of the house. Come on out. Join us in the sunshine and support our local charities. LoversKeyNauticalMarket.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. There's the talk and text line, drewsteele.com, Steele with 3 E's. If you want to watch, it's mobile friendly. It's set up to be mobile friendly, so you can watch on your phone, on your smart device, on your computer, and then, of course, anytime you want to stream live. If you want to go to YouTube, if you want to go to Facebook, go ahead. At Drew Steele Radio, and again, Steele has 3 E's. Boy, there's a lot to discuss out of Washington, D.C. and the concerns that we have here in Southwest Florida, and so we are so happy to have Congressman Byron Donalds joining us right now on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, to break down some of the things that are happening. How are you this morning?
Doing good, Drew. How you doing?
You know, I'm all right. Of course, I didn't get into GameStop early on, so I'm a little upset about that, but that's a whole other story. That whole thing is insane, what's going on with the markets and that. But the other thing that's insane, and I got to be honest, I'm really concerned about some of these executive orders, all of these executive orders, how we have no legislation even being discussed, and we don't even want to do it that way. Joe Biden, who told us only a dictator would do the kind of executive orders that are happening right now, apparently doing that on his own. Can you talk about some of these executive orders and the concerns that you have?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Drew, here's the issue we're having. The President Biden now, just doesn't want to work with the other side. So they're doing all this stuff by themselves. The most egregious ones we've seen so far is the complete halting of the Keystone XL pipeline, a pipeline that was going to provide not only jobs in building it, but continued jobs in the United States for managing it. It was going to continue to have us be an energy leader with respect to natural gas and oil in the world. To be the leader with respect to natural gas, he comes in and shuts it down. But here's the other thing people don't really understand. It's not just him shutting down the process and the project. Those are contracts that are already existing. So there's a possibility that we're going to have to spend more money as a government to pay the existing contract and have nothing to show for it because the United States government entered into contracts to build this pipeline. That's number one. Number two, you have the immigration order, which thankfully a district judge shot down. The Texas sued, and the federal district judge shot down the president's executive order on halting all immigration, basically stated he didn't have the authority to even do that. You have that one. People have heard about the executive order dealing with women's sports and how all you have to do is identify, and it gives you an opportunity to just go and play. I mean, who wants that? If I had daughters, I don't, but I wouldn't want my daughters playing against a guy or playing against somebody, let me be politically correct, who identified themselves as a woman, because the truth is that person has a Y chromosome. And that's just science, and that's biology. And this is the problem we're having. There's no discussion on Capitol Hill about any of this stuff. We're all sitting around like you are, just waiting to see what's the next shoe that's going to drop and how they're going to affect Americans.
Yeah, well, we know how the Keystone XL is affecting jobs, how apparently the job killing that is happening with this administration goes on, and we're told that we'll find them in other places. A stimulus package that's still being discussed, although the numbers, from what I understand, and maybe you can clarify this, am I right in saying that some of the discussion about the $1.9 trillion may be going down a little bit? That's been changing. What's the latest with that?
Yeah, that's starting to come down a little bit because, from what I understand, when they've gone into the Senate to try to negotiate this out, Republican senators are basically saying, no, we're not going to do that, and that's pushing the number down. Yeah. It remains to be seen what it's going to finally end up. But we got a second problem with this coming stimulus package. Number one, there's already active money being spent right now on making sure people have the money they need for unemployment, helping small businesses. There's money that has gone to school districts to help reopen school districts. in the previous package. There's still about $70 to $80 billion that has not even been spent to help school districts reopen. That's still out there. And so why would we rush to push this new package forward right now? What I'm hearing is that we're probably going to be deliberating this thing over the next couple of weeks. And it looks like there's going to be votes and actions on this in early March on the new COVID package. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. Nancy Pelosi is running the show in the House. So anything can happen.
Yeah. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Before we go on to some other issues, I'd like to get your thoughts on the executive orders regarding racial equity. Some people have some questions about that. And what does equity mean? I mean, it seems like it means being the same. And we're not all the same in a lot of different ways, even when it comes to how we work, how we go to our job each and every day. Some people are go-getters and some people don't feel like being a go-getter, and that's fine, whatever you choose to be. But what is this, as far as equity is concerned, across the board in any way, shape, or form? What about this one specifically and this EO?
I mean, listen, what he's trying to do is be the most racially sensitive president, I think, since Lyndon Johnson, which is what I heard. If you actually know the history of Lyndon Johnson, you would understand how ridiculous that is. But that being said, what they're trying to do is just appease the woke left. That's what they're trying to do with these. I'm not sure these are going to have any major impacts at all, except with some of the reinstitutions of things like critical race theory and so on and so forth, which is a problem. I want to stress this. I think equality is the standard we should be seeking. All people are equal under the eyes of the law, but this push towards equity where there has to be a rebalancing by the hand of government is quite dangerous because, number one, the government is inept at doing these kinds of things anyway. Number two, you don't really understand the micro dynamics that are happening in each community, where some people may be further ahead than others. You don't know. The federal government doesn't have that level of information. So really sticking its head into this equity arena is going to be very, very difficult. A lot of this stuff is lip service. I've read through some of them. I'm more concerned about the critical race theory and some of the things that are being put back into place that were actually in place under the Obama administration that the Trump administration removed, and now Joe Biden's going through the process of putting it back. Yeah, that's the stuff that concerns me.
A lot of people have been asking me about what's happening in the state with regards to vaccines. Obviously, you can only get them out in a state as fast as you have them available. So are we getting more? Are we getting any new rounds here?
Yeah, Governor DeSantis actually just made the announcement that we're going to get about another 300,000 vials of the vaccine that are coming into the state of Florida. This is important. I think what people need to understand is we have to stress patience here. Everybody wants the vaccine. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people want the vaccine. We have such an incredibly high demand for not enough supply. That is the dynamic. That's why you're seeing long lines. That's why you're seeing people trying to go through the online portal or on the phone to try to get an appointment, and they're struggling to get one. In Florida, we already have, I believe we're over 1 million people in our state who have already received the first stage of the vaccination process. So we're making progress, but it is going to take time. And I think it's important that people understand, typically in vaccine creation, it takes 3 years to get a vaccine, 3 to 5 years. Under the President Trump's leadership, we basically got a vaccine in 6 months. But the issue we're having now is just the logistics of how to disseminate those vaccine vials out. Also, with the COVID-19 vaccines, you can't just store them on the shelf indefinitely. They have to be refrigerated, from what I understand, and depending on the manufacturer, determines how you have to care for these vaccines. So we're ordering them as many as we can get them in. It's not just about putting them on the shelf. It's not a bottle of aspirin that you can just go and pick up. We have to actually get it from the pharmaceutical companies. It has to be sitting in stockpiles ready to be delivered. And the third part is there has to be the manpower in order to actually give the vaccine. So on this one, I think I want to stress patience, still take care of yourself, protect your health. But to be honest, we would never be in this place if it wasn't for Operation Warp Speed and the leadership of President Donald Trump. I know the media doesn't like when I say that, but they're idiots anyway. This is what's actually happening in America today and in Florida.
Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Before I get to some of your new committee appointments, because this will be interesting to discuss, and certainly even at a later date to get into those details of what it means. Your thoughts right now on the Hyde Amendment And I know there's been this talk and this push. First, if you can explain to people what the Hyde Amendment is and what is happening right now. Do we have any discussion with Republicans getting together in the House at least to push this? Explain to people what the Hyde Amendment is.
Well, the Hyde Amendment is actually put into law in 1976. It prohibits the federal government from spending the tax dollars for abortions. Frankly, that's what it does. Specifically, it stops Medicaid from providing Medicaid dollars to provide abortions for people. That's what the Hyde Amendment does. We've had it since 1976, 44 years and going. The Democrats have always wanted to get rid of the Hyde Amendment. The last time they had the power structure like this in Washington was Obama's first term. They tried to get rid of it then, but they were getting pushback from, a lot of, I would call them blue dog Democrats, the 3 or 4 that still exist. And so what's happening now is there's another push to get rid of the Hyde Amendment. They want to try to use budget reconciliation in order to do it because they're not going to be able to get the 60 votes they need in the Senate. So they're going to try to use the budget reconciliation to do that. We're standing firm in the Republican conference. Every Republican member of the U.S. House of Representatives, and I believe every Republican member of the U.S. Senate, is standing very strongly on keeping the Hyde Amendment.
Good.
But Nancy Pelosi's trying to get rid of it. So that's what's going on right now. We're going to continue to fight that one out.
I hope so. And quickly, I know you got to run, but talk to me a little bit about your new committee appointments and what that means.
Oh, yeah. So I'm actually on the Oversight and Reform Committee in the House. I'm on the Budget Committee, and I'm on the Small Business Committee. Nice. And in short, what it means is that I'm going to have a lot of insight to the overall federal budget, looking at every aspect of our federal government and making sure that we are holding agencies accountable and also having to deal with reform ideas. And also small business, trying to make sure that we're doing the right things to make small business owners be able to be successful. And we can get away from a lot of the stupid regulation in our financial markets and in our capital markets so that businesses can thrive. So we can just simply get back to work. So that's the stuff I'm going to be working on in D.C., while also making sure that we fund our water projects and working with Congressman Diaz-Balart and Congressman Stubbe and Brian Mast on the other side of the state to make sure that we continue to fund the necessary projects to keep our water clean.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to talking to you about it more in the coming days and weeks. And so that will be a great conversation to have and hard work that has to be done. But we're ready to hear what's going on in D.C. from Representative Byron Donalds, who's joining us right now on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Congressman, we appreciate it. And we got to do it again next week, okay?
Absolutely, man. And make sure you stay off Reddit, man. You don't want to get blocked, too, okay?
Yeah. I got to talk to Jake about that. It's a whole other subject, but you get it. All right, my friend. I'll see you soon.
All right, take it easy, Drew.
All right, we'll see you. All right, there he goes. Congressman Byron Donalds on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. Hey, don't forget, coming up at the bottom of the hour, the top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35 right now. We got some time for traffic. Let's find out what's happening up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash on 75 is now slowing traffic for 4 miles heading south of Daniels Parkway. Avoid the interstate. Really just stick to either Michael G. Rip, US 41, or Tree Line. Also, we're slammed on Daniels Extension coming out of Lehigh. Also, on Colonial, very slow morning to the interstate. The best thing as of right now, if you're heading to a 75, is to stick to MLK Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, heads up, elevated fire danger because of lowering humidity and breezy weather. It will be 10 degrees cooler than your Wednesday. High temperature this afternoon with a mostly sunny sky of 72 degrees. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed. Mornings with Drew Stevens. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. There's a trend in the air conditioning business with the rip-off companies to become plumbers, electricians, and air conditioning companies all at the same time. The stories we hear about huge plumbing and electric work rip-offs go right along with the scams these firms tend to run with the AC side of their business. If your company is advertising AC, plumbing, and electric, it's very likely one of those scam artist telemarketing companies with the bait-and-switch cheap service call. If you need a plumber, hire a plumber. If you need an electrician, hire an electrician. If you need to throw money down a hole, pick one of those multi-trade firms, and they're more than willing to take your money. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. Bryant, whatever it takes. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Did you know that you can understand the entire plan of the Constitution by reading just one sentence? The 10th Amendment, which Thomas Jefferson called the foundation of the U.S. Constitution? The 10th Amendment, in that one sentence, perfectly encapsulates the idea of a government of limited powers and states' rights. It says that all powers not delegated to the federal government are reserved to the states. There are two words that appear 5 times in the first 10 amendments, which we know today as the Bill of Rights. Those two words are the people. But it's the closing line of that last sentence of the last amendment, the 10th, that affirms that the ultimate authority in this country rests with we the people. And the best way to push back against federal overreach is with a strong state legislature. As Washington continues to fail us, we need to look back to our founding principles of strong governments from strong state legislatures. This is Spencer Roach, 10th Amendment Conservative. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. Stay engaged. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach. P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
It starts with a call. With one call, you can start seeing your future more clearly. If your financial picture is cloudy because you're getting conflicting tax, investment, and estate planning advice, help is a call or a click away. Annex Wealth Management's team works to get your investment plan in line with your tax plan and your estate plan. Build confidence with one team working to create one comprehensive plan as a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Wealth Management. One team, one plan, one fee. AnnexWealth.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592. The talking text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. You can go to the website. It's the mobile version, so you can check out what's happening. Hey, if you're trying to figure out with all these executive orders and what the plan is, just go to MSNBC and you can find out there. The question was asked from about this one professor and talking about energy and these executive orders against Keystone XL pipeline and climate change and the climate emergency, which we're told over and over again it's an emergency, although some might dispute that. So what's up here? Here is one professor on MSNBC explaining.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Again, there were some critics even in the environmental community who, for example, want to see a very expansive climate plan, a Green New Deal-like climate plan. And frankly, in a divided Congress, a 50-50 Senate, it may be very difficult to see that sort of legislation pass Congress. But what Joe Biden has done is basically go as far as one could go through executive actions to implementing something that looks a lot like the Green New Deal.
Do you see what's happening here, everybody? And there is an individual, a professor, calling out exactly what is happening with the dictatorial Joe Biden. Not my words, his words. He's the dictator. He claimed it. He said, listen, anybody doing the executive orders like the Trump administration was doing executive orders and not making it legislative and going through the proper channels, then it's a dictator that would do that. And there you go, almost 40. They keep going up and up and up. And there he is, the professor saying, listen, if you were to take this to the House and the Senate and try to make Green New Deal legislation, maybe not. But if you were to have executive orders that you would put out, because there's a climate emergency and the Keystone XL, we can't have that and some other things that they are doing right now with regards to executive orders, then you can basically get closer to that Green New Deal without having to go through Congress. But tell me more about how this administration and this president is not dictatorial, is not doing things that are against the Constitution, dare I say, against some of the voters in this country. And there's proof of that. Maybe there's some buyer's remorse going on. We'll talk about that coming up. But first, on the way, the top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35 up next.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Ready to make 2021 the year you meet people who love to do the same things you do?
Making pizza with someone who's as into it as me? What could be better?
How about we share a bottle of wine? Our Time is the #1 dating site made for singles over 50. It's easy to use and can help you find people who are ready to do something fun. Today, even doing the simple things are better together.
A walk and some ice cream with someone sounds like the perfect treat.
Find someone over 50 who loves to do what you do on Our Time. Start for free at OurTime.com today.
What's that switch in your kitchen do?
Nothing. Flick it on, off, nothing happens.
Weird.
Now, if it would turn on the overhead fan, that would be cool. Can't get that to work either.
Frustrating.
This is what's wrong with humanity. We think we got it all figured out, but we don't even know what this switch is supposed to do.
Dave.
Think we can build a spaceship that takes us to Mars when we can't even get a switch to work?
Hey, Dave.
I swear, we're never gonna leave this solar system. We'll be stuck on this planet forever until we all go extinct.
Dave, what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Well, I make a call, someone comes and connects that switch to something, like maybe that overhead fan.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 electricians and 4 trucks right now waiting for your call. They'd have that switch looked after in no time.
Well, I feel a bit silly now.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So maybe...
Maybe we can go to Mars.
Attention, Southwest Florida. Are you ready for this? Only Naples Nissan has been authorized to continue offering the full original MSRP for your trade-in. The factory warned us to end the offer, but after record-breaking sales in 2020, we've been approved to continue running it. If your trade-in is a 2014 or newer with less than 80,000 miles on it, regardless of where you purchased it from, only Naples Nissan will pay you the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Hundreds of new Nissan models to choose from. All backed by our exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Pick out your favorite and get full details at naplesnissan.com today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Biden set to take executive action on healthcare today. Among the affected, healthcare.gov.
Reopening open enrollment that wasn't supposed to start until the end of the year in 2 weeks. But first, his administration is going to run ads ads, making sure that people without health insurance know they can get it. This is something the president has spoken about with great urgency because so many people are losing coverage as they lose jobs in the pandemic. Biden is also going to make it easier for low-income Americans to enroll in Medicaid, and he's going to sign an order expanding protections for women's health at home and abroad.
Fox's Peter Ducey. And Dow futures are flat the morning after the Dow booked its worst daily decline since late October and its fifth straight session of losses on valuation worries as the Fed chair Jerome Powell offered a sobering outlook. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
It is a busy morning on the roadways in Southwest Florida. There is a crash at mile marker 126 traveling southbound just near Alico on the interstate. Now, this is delaying traffic for 4 miles. If you're heading south of Daniels Parkway, avoid I-75, Tree Line, Michael G. Rip, or US 41. Great options to avoid it. Also, if you're heading south of Alico, you have Ben Hill, Three Oaks, or 41. Now, also very congested on Corkscrew Road, heading westbound to the interstate starting from Bellaterra. There's a delay that continues on that Daniels extension coming out of Lehigh. Also very slow on Colonial Boulevard, heading towards I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, thanks to a cold front, cooler, drier, and breezy. Granted, it's going to feel better, but heads up, we do have an elevated fire danger. Mostly sunny this afternoon with highs in the lower to middle 70s, dipping back down into the 40s for your Friday morning. Nice and sunny by the afternoon. High temperatures near 70, 75 on Saturday, mostly sunny. And then sunshine and increasing clouds on Sunday with a slight chance of rain. And actually, morning rain possible by Monday as temperatures will be topping out into the 70s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. True Steel. Weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Imagine an exclusive fishing adventure in Key West, a private cooking lesson from a master chef, a chance to play in an exclusive golf pro-am, or owning a custom piece of art from a world-renowned painter, all while supporting the mission of NCEF, helping disadvantaged and at-risk children in Collier County. Don't imagine. Go to nwwfonlineauction.com and bid on these or other once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. That's nwwfonlineauction.com, a partnership of the Naples Winter Wine Festival, NCEF, and Gulf Shore Life.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and we've got my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And Dave, I got to tell you, the selection of floor coverings of Floor Meisters, unbelievable, fantastic. I've seen it myself, and the choices are there. But what we really want to talk about today is this Dreamweaver line of carpets. Talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Drew, this is the hottest thing since 5-buckle overshoes. We're just selling the heck out of it. Comes in 9 different patterns, 12 colors to a pattern. It has 8 warranties, and it even includes steps. The stain warranty will take care of wine, mud, and even pet accidents. So this is perfect for Jake.
Yeah, perfect for Jake, and perfect for me, and perfect for you, too. If you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, really owe it to yourself to visit their store, see their selection of Dreamweaver carpets. It's there at 6281 Naples Boulevard, next to Costco. And whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592. That is the phone number. You know, we do the thing. It's your time to call about whatever you would like each and every morning at this time, right after the 5 at 8:35 that's coming up. So whatever you want to talk about, whatever is on your mind, I don't care what it is, just bring it up. Even if you're a big lib, even if you're a big leftist in this country, a Democrat, you want to talk about how awesome it is that Joe Biden's a dictator. His words, not mine, because only a dictator would do executive orders and go around the legislation. That's the hard work of, co-equal branches of government and kind of go around one branch of government. Yeah, that kind of thing. Maybe you want to talk about that. All right, so that's coming up. But first, the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5. I think the president's plan of building back better, which would create more jobs in energy, clean energy, than the jobs that might be sacrificed.
Yeah, we got jobs that are going to be sacrificed. Don't let anybody tell you that this administration is not killing jobs, because they are killing jobs. And as a matter of fact, they admit it. There's President Joe Biden's nominee to head the Energy Department, former Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm, who's saying, yeah, listen, we're just going to have to sacrifice some jobs, everybody. Some American jobs are going to be sacrificed just to make sure we can do this ambitious environmental agenda where we'll create even more jobs. The government telling you that we're going to destroy things and then we're going to come along and fix it. And, you're really on board with that, huh?
Number 4.
Is the White House concerned about the stock market activity we're seeing around Gamestop and now with some other stocks as well, including the subsidiary or whatever, the company that was Blockbuster? And have there been any conversations with the SEC about how to proceed?
Well, I'm also happy to repeat that we have the first female Treasury Secretary and a team that's surrounding her, and often questions about market we'll send to them.
Woo, they're on it. Yeah, Jen Psaki, when asked by a White House reporter, hey, listen, this whole GameStop thing and what's going on with the markets and this concern about the short sales and everything else, is the SEC on this? You guys checking it out? And she says, hey, we got a female that's running the Treasury. Isn't that cool? We didn't ask you about that. You want to answer the question, or?
Number 3.
Every player, unless they're from the same household, has to bring their own tennis balls so that you don't touch other people's tennis balls with your hands. You can kick their balls, but you can't touch them. I'm going to blush, sorry. Of course, if you're playing with someone in your household, you can touch those tennis balls. To avoid confusion between whose balls are whose, you can use a marker, like a Sharpie, to mark out, to put an X or put someone's initials on them.
Yeah, that's North Carolina. They're opening up the public tennis courts in North Carolina, and some officials did a press conference to let people know that they're opening up the courts, and one official was trying to explain how when you're on the courts, you have to You have to act because of COVID. You do realize that COVID has destroyed us in so many ways.
Number 2.
Coal plants have been closing over the last 20 years. So what President Biden wants to do is make sure those folks have better choices, that they have alternatives, that they can be the people who go to work to make the solar panels. They were making them here at home. That is going to be a particular focus of the Build Back Better agenda.
You betcha. There's John Kerry, the private plane flying, mansion owning many houses, giant, huge, humongous carbon footprint dude, John Kerry, letting everybody know that, hey, listen, as a climate advisor, climate's it's a catastrophe in the making. I mean, it's a climate emergency. We just keep saying it over and over again, climate emergency, climate emergency. If we just keep saying it, it'll become true. No matter what any of the science says on the other side, can't listen to it. There's John Kerry, who's insisting that, listen, there's some jobs, you're going to lose some jobs. But guess what? The people that are losing these jobs in the oil industries and fracking and Keystone XL, listen, you don't have to worry about it. All you got to do is build the solar panels. That's your new job, okay? So forget your old job. Your old job was working on the oil fields. Forget that old job. The new job is building solar panels. Aren't you glad we're here?
Number 1.
First of all of this nonsense, all of this noise, all of this whining by Wall Street, it's making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. I didn't hear one person on TV complaining about Wall Street trying to crush GameStop. 140% short. I told my subscribers, buy this stock, and they made a fortune. I also told them to buy Virgin Space. Virgin, we took profits on that today. Fizz, that's up huge. Tangers is up huge. Neil, you can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of a stock, and nobody says anything. Crush these companies into the dirt, and then when the individual investor makes money, everyone's up in arms. Oh, they're going to lose their shirt. Don't you think people are trading? If it traded 80 billion shares today, people are ringing the register. I have a kid who bought a house. He made $50,000 and bought a house. So yes, some people are going to lose and some are going to win. But if they want to change the rules of the game now because the general public is making money after decades of the shorts crushing thousands of stocks into the dirt. I have watched stocks being crushed completely to zero, and no one ever whispered anything.
Whoa. That was Charles Payne, Fox's Charles Payne, who exploded over Wall Street whining over the skyrocketing GameStop stock, and he was getting sick by it. Whoa.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
The GameStop phenomenon is crazy. And the idea that you have Wall Street shorting, which they've done forever, shorting stocks, borrowing money under the guise that this stock is going to drop, is going to crash. And that's what they're looking at. And they're going to make money off of that, how institutionally that happens. And then you have you have people on the side and investors who are just kids, who are just learning, who are just doing some day trading. And they're thinking, well, wait a second. And they buy these stocks and the stocks go up 1,500%. And all of a sudden you have a stock that's in the $20, $30 range, shooting up to $300, $400 range. And they're not going to be selling that stock. And institutionally, you have those that borrow that have to pay. They're borrowing that money, and its stock's not coming down, and they're not buying, and next thing or selling, and next thing you know it, you're due, and you've got places, hedge fund capital management companies that have had to infuse billions of dollars in cash into the companies because of the money that they lost, and Charles Payne is like, Wall Street's whining because some people outside of the marketplace made money and the ones that tried to short got hurt by it and all the things. I wonder what you think. 239-479-5592. And, if you don't understand the whole GameStop issue, let me just say this, and Jake might even agree with this, because when I was talking to my wife about this yesterday and I started to get messages and on Twitter, I was starting to get these Reddit, these subgroups, these messages from people on the Reddit subgroups. And they were saying, do you understand what's happening with the people in these groups? How their lives are changing as well, you know. I had these two tweets that somebody sent to me from the subgroup on the Wall Street Bets, which I guess you can't even get to right now. It's locked out, right? Jake knows.
Not unless you were already a member.
Like somebody wrote and posted yesterday that they showed the value of what they purchased now through GameStop. And they said, now I can write my mom a check and put my sister through Lyme disease. She's got Lyme disease. It's been a very rough year, but I'm so thankful for every single one of you. Basically somebody there who's saying, hey, thanks for helping me out with this. Somebody else saying that they took their dog to the vet because it wasn't putting weight on its back leg. It needed surgery, cost $4,000, and they broke down because they didn't have the money to do it. They couldn't qualify for a payment plan, and they didn't know what was going to be next. They took anything that they had, less than $1,000, but took it and put it into these stocks, and next thing you know it, now they can pay for the surgery. It's the dynamic here is absolutely crazy what is going on with this. 239-479-5592. All right, it's time for the thing. It's time for your calls. What's your thing?
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
All right, we start the thing off with Maureen. She's in Naples. Maureen, what's your thing today?
Good morning, Drew. Love the show.
Thank you.
I'm in Fort Myers, but that's okay. Naples is a good alternative as well.
It says Naples on the screen. It's okay.
I wanted to tell you a funny story. When I lived in San Francisco, my neighbor John was a nuclear engineer for Bechtel. So he would get into all these hobbies like hydroponics, and then he got into Wall Street, and he was creating these graphs and charts and everything. And I had now moved back to New York, was working for Marine Midland in Manhattan, and he calls me one day and says, I think there's going to be a crash. Why don't you go out and buy a couple of thousand shares of put options? And I said, what does a nuclear engineer know about, Wall Street? Anyway, I didn't. He did. He made $1.5 million in one day.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe next time I might listen a little better.
Oh, you got to be on those. You got to be on those Reddit sites. You got to be with the Utes of America. The Utes, they know what's going on. These kids.
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, these kids that are on Reddit. They know. They seem to know the future. It's amazing.
Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a chuckle. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Maureen. I appreciate the call. Bye. All the best. Let's see. We got Greg in Punta Gorda. He wanted to weigh in on Biden. Is that right? What's your thing this morning, Greg? Go ahead.
Since Biden decides to run the country by executive order, let's do away with Congress. Look the money we could save by them not drawing their salaries and all their office staff and everything. And I even got a new job for them. They can go glue the instructions on the solar panels that the coal miners are going to build.
There you go. Why don't we get our Congress? Let's get the House and the Senate to go work in the solar panel fields. Go build some solar panels, people. Well, there might be a constitutional issue with that and getting rid of a Congress.
Hey, they don't seem to care about the Constitution, so why should I?
But isn't it interesting? The framers of the Constitution, our founders, thought to themselves, "There's no way, right, that you have co-equal branches of government. Why in the world would a legislature feel comfortable ceding its power? I mean, right? It's, you have the legislative branch of the government co-equal. It has power, and yet they're ceding that power to a president. It just seems crazy. And it just shows you, and thanks for the call, Greg, I appreciate it. It shows you that when agenda trumps anything, when it's all about the agenda and moving an agenda forward, that there are some in this country that are willing to cede their power and constitutional power to get that agenda done unconstitutionally or otherwise. It's crazy. I mean, that's what Chuck Schumer and all these senators, congressmen, that's what they're saying, right? Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and others. I mean, they're willing to give it to Joe Biden as president, almost in a dictatorial way, this monarchy, this individual that comes along, the one that's going to save the day for everybody, and cede their power to him and just, yeah, go ahead. I mean, we want to do it, and we don't want to go through the legislative process and everything else. No. You make it, just make it happen. Make it so. I say, make it so. Sorry. That was totally uncalled for. Let's see. Charlie's in Naples wanted to weigh in on the whole Reddit thing. What's your thing there with this, Charlie? Tell me.
Hey, man, I am so happy and I laugh so much that these big institutions and maybe even governments get so upset when a smaller group of people can outsmart them in one way. And now they're going, this can't happen anymore. They're so used to manipulating markets for their good. They get so upset when somebody else does it. And like you said, there might be another 1,000 millionaires out there today. And the big firms are mad about that.
Yeah,
I love it.
And to Charles Payne's point on Fox Business, and thanks for the call, I appreciate it, Charlie, is that the institutions, it's been amplified more as of late, but it is the Fed and others that allowed this to happen, to allow this to be not just like Jonathan Honig, capitalistpig.com, and Fox business contributor, he was on with us this morning. And like he said, I mean, short selling has been going on forever. But the idea that it now has ramped up to the point where, you have hedge funds doing what they're doing and people outside now doing this when it comes to GameStop and some getting in a tizzy. Well, it's, you could say the fault of the Fed and others who've allowed this ramping up and all of this to take place. So what are you complaining about? All right. And let's go to Brandon as our last call of the day here. Brandon in Cape Coral, what's your thing, Brandon? Tell me.
I love your show. I feel like Kerry and Biden and all these other cronies, they sound like Fidel Castro here. I've had a lot of stories from people who come from Cuba and have gone to school to be a neurosurgeon, and then they tell them, hey, you're just going to be a garbage man, and that's what you're going to do. Is this what we're doing with the oil and power industry? We're just going to be, now, this is what you've set your whole career on. This is what you went to school for, but now you're just going to sit here and make solar panels. You're going to do what we tell you that your job is going to do, that you're going to be happy about this. This is all a precursor to socialism and communism. These people are out of their minds.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
No, well said. Listen, Brandon, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. It's outrageous. I mean, at least it's not anything like we have to worry about people going on the news and telling us that we have to wear like triple masks or something like that. I mean, one mask is bad enough. At least we don't have to. Oh, wait, this just in. Listen to this.
There, Shep. Yeah, the experts keep telling us that wearing masks is really about protecting others from ourselves in the event that we are contagious. But, if other people aren't wearing their masks or they're wearing them improperly, we need to protect ourselves. So experts say you can double up with a tight weave fabric mask for added protection. Now, Virginia Tech researchers found that doubling up these cloth masks increases the efficacy from 50 to 75%. A 3-layer mask could block up to 90% of the...
A 3-layer mask? So there on MSNBC... No joke. We're triple masking now, everybody. That's what we have to do. We've got to, if we just triple mask, I mean, soon we won't be able to breathe, but who cares? Listen, at least we're not getting COVID. They're talking about triple masking. I mean, listen, at least we're only swabbing for COVID in one single place, right? It's not like we're getting swabs from someplace else. Oh, wait, there's news on that. I don't know if you heard this, but China now is beginning using swabs to test for COVID-19 in Beijing. And it's not in your nose. I'm not going to tell you exactly what orifice is. They're swabbing. But your most disgusting thought of where in China they're beginning to swab for COVID-19 for better accurate results. Yeah, that's the orifice. That's where it's. Oh, I hear the music. Hey, we got to go. No, that's a true story. That's happening. Yeah, we're swabbing. We're doing I can't. I didn't. It's the headline is, and it's all. And the Daily Wire has it, and they broke it down in detail. And no, thank you. Woo! All right, Glenn Beck is next. Let's find out what's happening with the remainder of our forecast. Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt has it.
For today, heads up, elevated fire danger because of lowering humidity and breezy weather. It will be 10 degrees cooler than your wind